before I start a game, my pre-game ritual is I have this meditation that I do. Trigger words to be your best. It's from UW Meditation Athletics. My good friend Chad McGehee. I listen to that, and I take out my journal and I start writing. And I'll say something like this: I'm about to enter the arena. For 60 minutes, I'm immortal. I'm untouchable. When I put on the pads, and I just tell myself, like, I put on the pads and I'm him. I'm the embodiment of everything I've ever wanted to be. I'm the pinnacle. I'm the peak. I just, because the body will go where the mind goes. So I take my mind to a place of where I'm in the zone and I can't be messed with.
So I'm really excited. I'm on my way to meet Maema Njongmeta. He is a linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. He just completed his rookie season, and it was not smooth sailing for him. It was challenging, and he shared a few of those challenges with me. We met each other. It was just a random crossing of our paths. So I was working out and I bumped into these two guys. What's your name?
Jordan Vincent.
And where do you go to school?
Utah State.
Nice. And what do you do there?
I play safety.
Yeah, that's cool. They're training. What about you?
Maema Njongmeta, Wisconsin, linebacker.
Oh, so you at the University of Wisconsin?
Yes, sir.
So you guys play big time football. And we stayed in touch. We're going to Botanic Gardens. So I'm excited to introduce you to Maema Njongmeta.
Oh, this is pretty.
This is, we have to do this when everything's in bloom sometime. We don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Right. But if you
I
wanted
gotta
to,
come back at least.
you know, this is such a beautiful place to just be, to just walk. And in the spring, not too long from now, there will be tulips everywhere.
Oh, I love
Like this entire area is going to just be more tulips than you could possibly imagine or see.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Do you like just like walking and being, like, is that something that you do in your free time?
Yeah, the way I try and center myself is, which way you want to go? Straight,
Well,
left?
this way, yeah.
Cool. The way I try and center myself is really meditation. I feel like I spend so much of my time in movement.
Yeah.
In that, when I want to be still, I try to just be still.
Right.
But lately I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just as an off-season practice, kind of develop my athleticism in a different way.
Is that considered meditation, doing jiu-jitsu?
It can be. I think another martial arts I want to kind of investigate is Tai Chi. That's more meditative.
Right. You do that too?
I'm going to start doing Tai Chi because Jiu-Jitsu is like, it's not bad on the body, but it's not nothing on the body.
Yeah.
And I spent so much time. Which way? This way?
You'll go this way, yeah. This area. So
English walking.
I mean, I have pictures. I'll have to insert a couple pictures of this area, because this area in the
I'm sure
in the spring, it's like these are so full. And I think there's something that is so beautiful about being in a place with seasons, because you see the bones. You know, it's like you see the bones of what's underneath the beauty, and that's really, we don't get to see that all the time. Like, even understanding, what you're doing when you're not doing the thing we see you do for, 45 minutes or however many minutes. Because really, you're on the field for probably, because I know special teams, and we'll get into the football stuff, but like, you're only out there for, do you ever measure how much time you're actually on the field during a game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing like 30 plays. No, I'm playing 26, 27, maybe 28 plays a game. Each plays like 5 seconds.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
So I don't even know what the match is. Let's just call it 30. So maybe 150 seconds until I'm out there.
Wow. So
less than 3 minutes.
Less than 3 minutes.
Of actual football.
Right, actual football.
But
I've never even thought about that.
I've never thought about it like that till now. So
that's wild.
pretty crazy.
Right. So those are 3 minutes of like, they're so jam-packed. It's like big moments, right? So,
but it's funny because, and I know you didn't ask about this, but like, someone would always say, I've had older people kind of tell me like, hey, like, they don't pay you for game days.
Right.
Anyone would do a game day for free. Game day is electric. The entire city.
Yeah.
Sometimes a Monday night football game, the entire country's watching you. A Thursday night football game, the whole world is watching you.
Yeah.
They don't pay you for game days. They pay you for the other days that suck. And you don't want to wake up and then it's like, man, I'm messing this up. I'm getting my butt kicked. I'm embarrassing myself. My job's on the line. They pay you for those days. Because game day, there's only 18 of them, guaranteed. There's only so much time you're actually playing the sport.
Yeah.
But you prepare so much for it, and it's like the preparation is actually where you have to find your joy if you want to be good at any of it, football, any kind of walk of life. So
yeah, it's like when I speak and do events, it's like it's getting there. It's everything before.
Yeah,
it's the travel. It's I love the time. I'm thinking about it though. It's like when I do an event, I'm doing it for 75 minutes. And if I'm doing it for 75 minutes and you're doing it for 3 minutes a season, I'm pretty much doing 15 seasons of work for one event. Like I'm really outworking you.
I was like, where are you going with this?
I'm really outworking you and all of the other greats. Well, who knows how great? Because the quantity can't really measure.
I can't be putting the great.
I don't know why I have to. This is a problem of mine.
What?
Is I make it about me, and it's like it's not about me, man. It's about you.
I feel like you're just relating to yourself though. Like
I am. But getting there is so hard.
Getting there is hard.
Right, and that's where you spend so much of your work and just that backstory of. So, I was exercising. I know we shared a little bit of this, but the quick story is I was just doing these reps on a hill, going up and down these stairs.
Dude, this is a serious hill. You're like underselling. Like I hope you can insert a picture of this hill. Like this hill is. I'm afraid of this hill to this day.
Well,
like
I think you are very kind because I really I do a lot of walking because I ran a marathon one year and it really hurt my hips.
Oh sure.
And so I do a lot of walking, a lot of and a lot of exercise. But yeah, so I was doing that, and then you were so nice because you said to me, "Good job." And I've told the story. You can just follow me. I'll just guide us.
Show us the way.
So you said good job, and I was just like, I'll insert the video of you and Jordan, because you're like ripped, dude. Like, how many packs do you have?
I probably had 6 then. I've had 8 before. My peak physicality.
Yeah.
6.5, 8. No.
So 8. Do you ever have a 10-pack?
No, Jordan has a 10-pack. Do you want to talk about ripped? Jordan's ripped.
Right, because I was like, these dudes, when I described it, like, these dudes had like, it was like a 12-pack. Like, they were ripped.
Muscles on muscles, like SpongeBob.
But you guys, I've never really been comfortable. I've never seen my pack.
Yeah.
I got one pack. I've never seen my muscles. It's like, I don't think this is as a baby. Even though it's 10 pounds a baby. Never.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
And maybe one day, they're there.
Oh yeah, they're just, they're hiding.
They're covered. They're protected. But you have that, and you were really kind. And then, because you were nice, I was like, all right, these dudes have a story. Like they got a story.
Yeah, you came back. You left, and then you circled back. You said, actually, can I?
Well, because I don't like doing. Most of the time when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you something I love. This is one of my favorite places, favorite parts of Botanic Gardens. I take this path, and there's a pit. This is this picture. So see this, right? See this?
Wow.
So this is a meditation garden, and there are all these steps, and like each of these steps, they just represent so much, and with such beauty. And I look at life. I remember when I was at Indiana University. So you said you want to know a little about me. I was at Indiana University and I was starting to write my advice column. And I was walking up these stairs at like 2 a.m, thinking, damn, this is gonna be a brutal journey. Like just trying to figure out how to write an advice column and sell it, and it's a ridiculous career. And I had these stairs, and I stopped on the stair at like 2 a.m. I looked around, I was like, damn, I have so far to go. But it was like, it didn't even matter. And I see this, I'm reminded of that. And we met on, I was doing steps.
We met on some steps.
Right, and there were some steps, and there's steps. And I think that with what you do, do you mind if we take a picture here?
I'd love to.
Okay. Sometimes I'll
You started showing me these steps. I was like, Scott Harlan might have lost it.
Oh,
and then he related it to the Indian. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
No, that's really cool actually.
It is so connected because, I think that like your journey. Let's get the steps in there too. We can get the steps too. Hold on. We just there we go. There we go. Okay. I'll do that, and then this we'll do. Maybe I'll be able to see him. All right, we'll do one more.
See, it's hard because my skin tone is as a dark man. It's hard to get the steps. And this might be the one.
We got it. As you talked about that. Okay. So the I came back and talked to you because you were just very, very friendly and very easy to talk to. And I was so curious to understand your story and Jordan's story. And I'll share Jordan's social media. Jordan is a year younger than you.
Yep.
And just give us how important is Jordan in your life? When did you meet Jordan?
Yeah, so Jordan and we met when I was in 8th grade and he was in 7th grade. And we weren't really friends till maybe my sophomore, junior year. So we ran in the same circles because we played football together. And he was a kid who his freshman year, he was called up to play with the sophomores. So that's how him and I actually started to know each other again.
Right.
And
what school? Do you want to share the school?
Stevenson High School.
Right.
And so we weren't very similar growing up. It felt like he grew up how he grew up, I grew up how I grew up, and just the only thing that kept us together. I was very nerdy. He was very jock, athletic guy.
Yeah, you were nerdy?
Yeah, very. I only started playing football my freshman year of high school, and so I was in band, I was in choir,
What instrument did you play?
Play the trumpet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you sing?
I'm not. Yeah, not very.
You got good voice?
No, very bad voice.
But you can't sing.
I managed for 4 years, and I realized
What choir? What level choir were you in?
just high school.
Did you at the highest level though? You know how in high school there's like a master singers or whatever?
Yeah, no, sorry, just junior high school.
Oh, junior high school.
Yeah,
Okay.
just nothing.
Did not play football until high school.
Yeah, I always played sports though. So people think I just woke up and I discovered I was an athlete. But no, I've always played sports. Football was just one I hadn't come across. This bridge is gorgeous.
This is another spot that, this spot.
We could sit here and have the interview and I'd be happy.
Let's do that. Oh, this is a special spot. If you might go on this side, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Wow, the fact I get to be at this spot with you.
This is a good spot.
This spot, just in terms of family, life, this spot is just, this is such a beautiful spot.
It's a good spot.
Oh, wow. Sometimes things happen where, I've been in a place where, I'm really letting things just flow, just unfold. And it's I couldn't even plan. If I plan on just walking with you and stopping somewhere, it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some things can't be planned.
Yeah.
Can't.
So anyway, all right, let's hang here. This is cool. I'm happy just
do it.
Just hanging
And
out
if
here.
at any point you're let's get up, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, this is our point of view. This is what we're saying.
Spot. This is relaxing. I can't
and this is what you get to see, which is nice. Okay. So then you're in high school. We'll kind of do how you got to the NFL, right?
Yeah.
And Jordan was because I met Jordan, and I'll do this for Jordan too. Next time it'd be cool. We should have Jordan hang
have
with
Jordan
us.
on this.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
If you're up for coming back, we could totally do this. But okay, so you get to high school, and then
I'm in high school. Me and Jordan, we know each other. We know of each other. We run in similar circles, but we're not really boys. And you could ask Jordan. He was an angry child, so he I was sort of scared of Jordan when we first met, and now we're best friends. So it's really funny.
He's a year younger than you.
He's a year younger than me, so he's always really quiet, and it was just one of those things where we played together. And it was the beauty of sports because I love football because it brings all these people who really don't have a lot in common.
Yeah.
On the surface,
right?
But they all play football, and then you come to make all these wonderful relationships with people you might never have spoken to, might never have even come across. And so Jordan was like that for me. We were really different at first, and then it was just one of those things that we hung out more and we were in the same circle together. And then it was my core football friends. Those were my guys.
Having people like Muma in my life that have been through it. He's a year older than me, so some of the challenges that come up in my life that he's already faced. So he's a very trusted source in my mind.
He was one of them, and it was even now, him and I are super, super close just because we've become thought partners. We bounce ideas off of each other. We push each other spiritually, mindset-wise, football-wise. He's really one of my best friends. So it was his idea to go to the hill, and you know how much I hate that hill.
Yeah.
So that was not me. And on the vice versa, when it would come to school, I'd be bro, Jordan, you're built for this, bro. Pushing him in school, he pushed me in football, and we pushed each other just in general. And,
right.
So that's me and Jordan. So that's why we're at the Hill. But
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Just so you know, last year Jordan was approaching his senior year at Utah State.
Yep.
Right? Looks like he had a great season.
he had a really good season. I think he was snubbed personally for some awards, like statistically wise.
Yeah.
He just was on a bad team, and so sometimes
Right.
it
Is
can
that okay
be
to say that?
point.
Like, do people?
No, they were bad. They were.
So it's okay to say that, because that's tough when you've got talent and you're on a team
Yeah.
where you don't get the spotlight,
Yeah.
right? So then he did his, what did you say? He just did
His pro day.
his pro day.
So he's at right now where I was last year when we
Okay.
first met.
Okay.
Slightly a little earlier in the journey.
Okay. So I want to make sure I understand how you go from high school to the University of Wisconsin, right, playing football.
Yeah.
That's
No, that one's crazy, and I can make it really simple. My first 2 years, I was not very good. I was very raw. I had a lot of athletic ability, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't play football. I didn't know the rules.
right.
I learned what a safety was because I forced a safety. Like I basically, like a safety, the two point where I blocked a punt into the end zone and we got a safety from it. So like just learning rules as I'm going.
So you didn't even know.
Didn't even know. Everyone starts putting their hands up like this. I'm like, all right, sure.
Right,
Scoring
right.
points like that. So I was very raw. Then junior year, and credit to my coaches and kind of the support system. My parents never forced anything on me as far as like, hey, you have to go to practice, or you have to do football. You have to do. Their whole thing was just like, whatever you do, just excel in. And so their whole thing was excellence.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the mindset. And so I just chose football. And junior year got a little better. Senior year, I'm like getting recruited.
How do you get recruited? Like, how does that? How do you get on these coaches' radar? Are you reaching out to them on social media? Are you saying, "Look at me and notice me," or is your coach doing it? Like, how's that work?
Yeah. So early on, like I remember I had emailed a bunch of college coaches, like, "Hey, my name is Muma. This is my CT score. This is my highlight tape. Check me out." No response. So then I was lucky enough to go to a huge high school in the area, 4,000 kids.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like a college.
No, literally, it's a minister college, and we'd had some success in the prior years. So there was a pipeline of kids from my area going to D1 schools.
Okay.
So that was helpful.
So they knew the school, so there were already people who were probably coming to those games, looking around, and they're like, "Hey,
Looking
who's
around,
that?
sniffing
What was
around.
your position then?"
I was a linebacker.
Right, so you always been a linebacker.
Yeah.
So they started to see you, and then when did you start to when did you get even the bug or the idea that like, oh crap, like this could be something bigger?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Sophomore year, like I remember sophomore year, like my coaches being like, "Oh, like dude, you could play in college." And it was funny enough, my linebacker coach played at Wisconsin.
Wow.
He played at University of Wisconsin.
Did you believe them when they said that?
Well, I just kind of laughed it off. And here's the thing. Here's the beauty of like not knowing. Like I didn't know how hard it was. Like it was just one of those things where it was like, oh, I just have to work hard. Like it wasn't like no one told me the odds, so I didn't think about the odds. I didn't think like, oh, the odds are good. Like, and that was to my favor because I think sometimes you start thinking about the odds.
Get in your head.
Yeah, and you start, oh, this isn't even possible. And it was never like that for me. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And like the joke would be like, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go to Michigan. Because I was a Michigan fan growing up, Jabril Peppers.
Yeah.
I didn't watch football growing up, but then when I started playing, so my freshman year, I became a Michigan fan. Like that was the first team I latched onto. And so I'd always talk trash about Wisconsin this, Wisconsin that. And then all these years later, I play at Wisconsin.
That's the best, yeah.
I started getting recruited by the Ivy League teams first. I had a really good ACT score, so I was in. I got a 34 on the ACT.
Yeah.
And boom, so I was into that.
34.
Yeah. So I sent that to the Ivy League coaches. They were like, look, you got a spot here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is that easy for you? Like how do you just get 34?
No, that one was work. That was.
You work hard?
Yeah. My parents, they locked me in my house for a month, but they pretty much locked me in the house. They're like, hey, look, you have one shot at this. And so they're like, we don't really think you need to be going out. You don't need to be going anywhere. You can go to school. You can go to training. You can come back.
Were you okay with that? Do you find them annoying?
I think looking back now, it's like there's a method to the madness. But when you're a kid, it's like.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have an older brother.
All right. I saw an interview with your parents.
Yeah.
When you were, I think it was an old interview when you were just going to Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
And it was like the two of them just talking about just you, and it was like. it was like so low stakes. They're like, yeah, he's gonna be great. He works hard. You know, it's like they're like,
Look, anything I am, it's really a product of my parents and my brother.
they're so chill. Are they really that chill?
No, they're not that chill. Now they're chill. But no, growing up they were not.
So
chill.
they were like, are they first generation here? Did they?
I'm first generation. So
Right, so
I was
they-
born in Cameroon.
You were born in Cameroon.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they came here. What year did they come to the United States?
2004. So
Came
they
in
were-
2004, and they built a
Yeah,
life
they built a life.
here,
They built a
which
life.
is not easy. That's hard.
No, it's hard. They both have PhDs. My dad has 3 masters.
So he came here. Did he come here because he had a job and a role, or did he come here because it was just, trying
Land
to?
of opportunity. No. So my mom had a Fulbright scholarship to Texas A&M.
Okay.
So she was doing her PhD through the Fulbright program.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to Texas.
Yeah.
And then she got a job in Illinois working for Kraft Heinz. So that's how we got to the north suburbs. And,
Right.
for them, it was always like education was a thing.
So they went to college in Cameroon.
Yeah. No, they went to college in Nigeria.
They went to college in Nigeria, and then all their education was in Africa.
Yeah, Cameroon, Nigeria, and then my dad did his PhD at the University of Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Wow, isn't that like
Yeah, crazy.
that's what a
Crazy.
ride. That's
Crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's interesting because in that quick little clip I saw of your parents, everybody they're dressed in very I don't even know the right.
Is it traditional clothing? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like traditional clothing. I'll send you the link. It
Yeah,
was
send it.
it's a traditional clothing, and you have pictures in traditional clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one thing that I've recognized. It's like, because I do a lot on social media now,
Yeah.
and you've seen that. It's like, people have a lot of things to say, and no one knows me, man.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows me, and no one really knows you.
No one knows
Isn't
me.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, they don't, like, I'm just
They
getting to
know
know
part
you.
of you, but they don't really know you. Sure.
The majority of the people, there are people like Jordan and some of the guys on your team who you hang out with and get to know, but like, in terms of like who really knows like anyone, like most people don't know anyone. It's
Yeah.
like, it's just, and we take things so personally, but no one knows anything. Like, no one knows and I don't make assumptions because I really try to just start with curiosity. But like, even, your parents' journey of just having this incredible education, these being a Fulbright scholar, because the question of like a 34, an ACT, what's that? How many points?
36.
36. I mean,
But you know what my mom said when I got the 34?
Right.
I was like, Mom, I got a 34. She was like, oh, that's fine. Like, when are you going to reschedule the next
because
one?
there's 2 more points.
But and it's so funny because it doesn't even matter anymore. But like
Right.
I was kind of mad, but I also felt where she was coming from because there's 4 subjects, and the ACT is funny. You take it once, you never have to care about it again.
Right.
I'm only bringing it up as it was part of the story.
Yeah.
But I got a 35 in one section, a 36 in 2 sections. But then I got a 30 in another section. So that's what I got a 30 in math. So that's what brought me to the 34. And so I understand my mom. Like, if I just get a 36 in the other section and
Yeah.
31, I have a 36 forever. But it's like a dumb.
Did you take it
thing.
again?
No, because and here's why. I was like, I haven't rescheduled yet, but Harvard just gave me an offer. And so she was like, all right.
Okay.
She was like, okay, we're good.
Crazy story.
She was like, we're good.
This is crazy, man.
She was like, we're
I don't
good.
want to drop the camera.
No.
I'm like losing my shit here because this is such a wag.
No, it's so funny. And that's just
wild,
how
dude.
my parents are.
So, wow, so you get an offer to Harvard
Yeah, for football.
for football.
Yeah.
And but they don't give scholarships. Do they give scholarships?
They don't do need-based scholarships.
Right. So it's
Or
like
they only do need-based.
right. So if you're playing
So if
for
your
an
parents are
Ivy,
making like decent money, it's like
right. If you're playing for an Ivy team,
You're paying.
you're paying.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. We're just locked in. Now I'm really
No,
locked in. I'm locked in with the other one. So I got
What's the battery mode?
It was my battery. It's
Oh,
yeah. We got
cool.
good.
Okay.
I was so like bouncing around from the story that I unhooked the battery for a
Oh.
second. That's great. So right. So then you have to decide: do I want to go to Harvard? And Harvard's expensive.
Harvard's expensive.
And it's-
UPenn was a school I was like circling around. That was
Right.
like it spoke to me. I didn't even get to tour Harvard. But
Right.
UPenn, Wharton Business School that was speaking. To
Right. So you like business. Like you have a lot of interests. All right. But the thing is, if you go to those schools, first
Pay
of
out
all,
of pocket.
you pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
Plus, the programs are like the football programs. They're fine, but they're not on national TV. You're not getting you're not getting a lot of visibility.
And so what was funny is that I simultaneously had toured in one spring break trip. I toured West Point, UPenn, and Princeton.
Okay.
And then later that summer, I toured Michigan State and Iowa.
Okay.
And then I told my dad, like, Dad, if you look at it, we go to UPenn, and I don't know if things have changed now. This was some time ago, but it was a room. The gym was a room. Like, it was cramped. It was like a closet room.
Right.
Princeton, same thing. Weights are rusting. But you walk around campus and you see the most gorgeous academic buildings,
Right.
the most gorgeous academic institutions.
Right.
And then you go to a school like Iowa, and it was the complete opposite. The football facility was tight. Everything was shiny, gleaming.
Yeah.
And then the academic buildings looked decrepit. And no hate to Iowa. I mean, I do as a Badger, but
Right, and also the Papa John's School of Business.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work in Iowa.
Where's that? Is that in Iowa?
It's like a newer building.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. So like at schools, like Iowa is an older state school, and you see this in a lot of places. But there's you know, and this is also like for people who are doing tours. You know, like because this is real.
Yeah.
You know, this is how I see, because I go to a lot of schools and you know, I'll see all different sides of it. But it's a really important observation, especially if you want to take your sport to the highest level.
Yeah.
Like so how do you go through that decision-making process?
So it ended up being very easy, but like it was coming down to like I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so it was funny because I'll make it really easy. So shout out to Mikey Bascalunas. He was an older guy who went to Stevenson. I'm really good friends with his cousin. We all went to Wisconsin together. Mikey walked on to Wisconsin, and my senior year, going into a certain point of my senior year, maybe halfway through the season, I sent him my highlight tape. Hey, look, send this to coach.
Yeah.
Please, like, do something. Every Big Ten school had come except Wisconsin or Ohio State. Yeah. And so he sends it. 2 weeks later, Wisconsin hits me up.
Who reached out to you? The assistant coach, the head coach?
Actually, ended up being my position coach, but it was Anoki Beckerfield, who I think coaches with Washington now, and then Coach Bostad, who was my coach for 2-3 years, coaches for Indiana now. Great. I mean, changed my life. I don't know how else to say. Like, they changed my life. Coach Leonard.
So they just took to you. Like, what do you think made you stand out in that highlight tape? Because they see a lot of different highlight reels.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is the case, but this is how I felt. Like, I was kind of their last ditch option. So, and it was crazy. Like, we could take this so many different ways, but the way I'm seeing it is like, it was, so my senior year ended, and I didn't have an offer from Wisconsin, and I had all these offers from these other schools.
Like, how many schools?
I mean, I had probably 20 schools, but like mostly like, and no hate, you can get it any way you can live. You got to get it how you live.
Right.
It was like mostly low D1s.
Okay.
It's like Rice University, the Naval Academies, Tulane. Tulane had a great year, some great years while I was playing.
Right.
But like, it wasn't big time football. It wasn't Big Ten. It wasn't SEC.
Right, and there's a lot of respect to all those programs, and people go there for lots of different reasons, because, you know.
But it was, for me, it was like, I would rather just go to a high academic institution and put football aside, or I'm going somewhere where football is the thing, and like, I'm gonna get it.
You're going all in.
Yeah, I'm going to go all in. That's how I've always been. And so my coach calls me after the season. He's like, hey, look, you know, it's going to be a month or two before we can give you an offer. Like, we're just working through some things.
What month of that? What time of year?
So
was that, like March or?
This is October.
Okay, so it's October, so it's the
this
fall.
is the end of October. Keep in mind, like, the final, I forgot what, the common apps?
Yeah.
Common apps are due like in December.
Right.
I haven't started on my common apps because I'm like, I'm going to go play college football. Like, I haven't done anything for common apps. I'm kind of panicking. Coach says it's going to be a month or two. I'm in despair. We just ended our senior season. I feel like a failure. I took a day off from school. And my parents never.
Just like mental health?
No, just like I was like, not mental health. I wasn't in a bad place like that, but it was just like, I was like, I just ended my football career. I think I had no idea.
Oh, because you thought you might be done.
Yeah,
like the thing is, so you're a senior. You finish your senior year,
and I don't have an offer that I like.
But you you have all these other offers.
But it's like I'm paying all this money, and it's like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So the mindset is, I'm either gonna really focus on academics and
Yeah.
do you have a passion outside of football in terms of like an interest in terms of like business or like
Yeah, I
what's
was gonna
that?
go to a business school. I love finance. I love business, entrepreneurship.
Right.
I had an ACT tutoring company in
You
high
did?
school. Off of
Well,
I
I
use my
mean-
34 and I just say, hey, look, let me send your kids to me. I'll tutor.
Well, you could do that. You could always do that too.
Yeah.
I'll promote it.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, that's
Not that you need me to promote it, but no, I'm saying you have so many interests.
I DJ now, so that's
you
a
DJ?
Fun, yeah, I DJ now, so that's fun.
Oh, that's cool. So I just think that idea that you thought your football career was over.
Yeah.
Like that is
I
just.
didn't think I thought it was.
You took a day off.
I took a day off, and it was like because we had played on Saturday and we lost. It was just like I was like, I don't want to go to school. Like, what am I going to school for right now?
Yeah.
And I love education. Education is super important to me, but it was
Right.
like I was just down. Like I was just down.
Right.
I guess you could call it a mental health day. I was just down. I was like, yeah.
Right.
This
Because I like mental. I'm a mess some days.
yeah. I was just like, this is one of those
Right.
days. So
Right.
take the day off, and then coach calls me and he's like, hey, look, like it's gonna be a month or two. And so I go online and because you can see who they've offered.
Right.
And so it's these two kids. And I have a full circle moment to tell you with this. So it's this one kid there's one kid they've offered and this other kid.
Yeah.
Within the span of a week. So like my mom and I start this 9-day prayer. It's called a novena. We're Catholic in my family, so we started a novena.
Yeah.
And I think within the second or third day of starting the novena, my coach calls me and he says, hey, some things changed. We want to give you an offer to the University of Wisconsin to play football here. So that's I mean beyond anything.
Wow.
And
It's a good feeling, huh?
great. I mean that was a good feeling. And what had happened was I go online and this one kid commits to Notre Dame,
Okay.
and this other kid commits to the University of Oregon.
Right.
And so the kid who commits to Notre Dame, I obviously end up going to Wisconsin. Full circle moment. I meet the kid who ends up committing to Notre Dame. I meet him at the combine. And I tell him, hey, we've never met before. I followed your career. Like I've seen, we played Notre Dame at one point. I saw him
Right.
play it. I said, hey, I followed your career. I just want you to know, you committing to Notre Dame opened up the door for me to go to Wisconsin. It changed my life. We're both here at the combine.
Right.
Obviously, it worked out for both of us. But I just wanted to say thank you because you going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it was just a full circle.
What
really
did
cool
he
moment.
say?
He's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had no idea. He
had
altered
no
your
idea.
entire future.
The whole future. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So he plays for the Falcons now.
Oh, he does?
Some astute.
What's his name? Are you comfortable sharing it? Or
No,
no?
I'll let the people investigate. But he plays for
I
the
like
Falcons.
that.
Just
I
got
like that.
drafted for them 5th round. So.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So man, what a journey. I'm like, that's
crazy.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. And you stay cool and calm, and then you go to Wisconsin. And I want to get to the NFL too, but it's like
There's so much juice behind it, and it makes the NFL part sweeter because it makes me going undrafted
Yeah.
and having a good year and playing as much as I did. It makes it sweeter because then I think people really understand.
yeah.
I didn't really get it. I was never a 5-star. I was never the 4-star guy. I had to kind of get it the hard way, which is good. It built a lot of character.
It's so interesting because how old are you now?
I just turned 24.
24. Right, your birthday. Congratulations. Happy birthday. It's
Thank you.
exciting. And, I hear 24, and I'm much older, right? And I've been grinding it out
Yeah.
in my space for a long time. Very, very different type of journey. But, I guess in terms of an athletic career, of a pro sports career, just how many years you have, it really is a long time. But you're just, you're so young, you've so much, and you've been through so much, and you really came at it not from a place where people were like, you're the best. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because that's something, that's a complex I've had is, I've always felt like whenever I'm smart, I'm lucky. You at least had that whole ACT thing, so you knew you had a brain that worked right for you, or at least you were able to get the outcome when you put in, the effort. And I was always struggling to feel like I was enough, and you had to do that too in such a short, compact time period. Then you go to Wisconsin,
Yep.
and you're around all these people who are so exceptional, right? People who have probably spent, a lot of them start when they're in 5, 6 years old, right? This is the dream, and they're there, and when we were talking at the Hill, and I shared this video with a bunch of students. It's so good. When someone gets on team and they're a first-year student, right, and they get there, they're probably a big deal in their high school, right? Like, were you a big deal? I don't know that. Were you a big deal in your high school? I thought I was a big deal in high school. Yeah. What about you?
I would say I felt the same.
Right, but you can't admit that when you're in high school, right?
Right.
You gotta be humble, right? So then when you get to college and you're like the lowest person, how do you adjust to that?
Oh yeah. They feel like they're the man. Yeah. That was me as a freshman, by the way. Just so people understand that I'm not.
And at Wisconsin, you felt that. So like, tell me.
Yeah.
Like when you go to a school and then you're a first-year student and you're trying to adjust. Like, how do you adjust and how do you find your people and places? You just dealt with this with the Bengals now, and you know, like life is about transition and change. So I'm curious, like, how did you approach that change to Wisconsin? And you know, were you hungry, man? Were you grinding it out when no one was looking? Like, how did you approach that?
Yeah, so I love my experience at Wisconsin because like I like probably partied way too much in Wisconsin, but it was a good thing because it showed me like basically what not to do. And so when you're a freshman, it's hard because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And so my freshman year, we were at one point the number 6 team in the country. We're setting defensive records. Like we had shut like, what was it? We had shut out like 3 or 4 opponents that year, like to start the season. And so it was like, we had scored, what was it? We had scored more points. Something about our defense had scored more points than the opponents had scored. Like at one point, we had scored 60-some points as a defense, and our opponents had scored 60.
Totally dominating.
Within like 5 or 6 games. Like it was like we were.
This is your first year?
This is my first year.
And were you playing? Did you get playing time?
No, I didn't. So Michigan comes in, we kick their ass. Like I remember that game that we kicked their butt, wipe the floor.
Right.
Michigan State comes in, we put 60 on them, and we shut them out. Like it was just. Like things looking back, like it was just insane. I played with Jonathan Taylor, one of the best to ever do it. Tyler Biadasz won the Remington Award for best center in college football. Zach Bond, who just had All-Pro year, won the Super Bowl this year with the Eagles, All-American year for him. Chris Orr, who went undrafted, kind of had a short stint in the league, but I mean, is having an electric coaching career. Just signed with the Chiefs to be one of their GAs, one of their analysts. I mean, I was on a team with like some dog, but it's your first year, and so you're like, oh, like this is it. We go to the Rose Bowl.
Right.
I mean, we go to the Big Ten championship.
Right.
We're up against Ohio State, 21-7 at half. We end up losing. We go to the Rose Bowl. We're playing Justin Herbert in the Oregon Ducks. We end up losing by 1 point, and everyone's crying in the locker room. And I'm like, we'll just be back next year. And the reality is, like, when you're a freshman, you don't know what you don't know. And so I don't know, like, I'm witnessing greatness.
Right.
I'm witnessing Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Biadasz, like, these guys down the list, like, dogs. Our starting nose tackle was a freshman, and now he starts for the Steelers. Keanu Benton, we're in the same class. Like, I was just with dogs. Leo Chanel played that year. He has won 2 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. Jack Sanborn played that year. He just signed with the Cowboys. He did 3-4 years in Chicago with the Bears. Like, I mean, guys across the board.
Yeah.
And so I'm on this team. I'm like, oh, this is just how it is. And so there's kind of a hubris, and it's not intentional. It's not malicious, but it's like you don't know what you don't know. And so then you get that perspective in the second year, and you have guys who are trying to talk you down, kind of like my guy Chris Orr. He was like, Mooma, like, tell me about your high school career. I was like, yeah, you know, I had a humble career. You know, I was a 3-star this. I was All-State this year. I was All-State this year. I was All-State in this sport. And he was like, cool, yeah, look around. Everyone else did that. I was a 4-time All-State in Texas. I won 4 state champions. Like, he walked it down, and he was trying to just kind of show me, like, hey, you don't know what you don't know. Humble yourself.
Right.
And so it took time to really, like, internalize that message. And by the time I did, I was in a better place as a man, and it helped me play. It helped me play better because it made me realize just how much it takes.
Right.
You know, in high school, like, you don't know what you don't know. I'm running around, I'm making plays. I think that's football, but you come to this level, and like, some people would die about the sport, and some people, like, this is all they've known, and some people, like, this, it just means so much more, and you learn to love it that way because that's what you need to do. So
did you have to work hard though? Were you getting up early? Were you doing like 5 a.m.s? Were you lifting? Were you like, you know, because it sounds like you're having a great time and just being like this kind of, you know, arrogant,
this airhead,
right? First year kid who's just like, yeah, you know, give me more.
Yeah.
But like, you know, were you also working? Were you working hard?
Yeah. So I was working hard, and like, that's the thing. Everyone works hard at that level, but really what it was my sophomore year. I had this kind of reckoning. I had rhabdo, which I talked about.
So rhabdo, just like in 1 second, we tell people what rhabdo is.
Essentially, you overwork your body. Muscle tissue breaks down too much. When you work out, muscle tissue breaks down and enters your bloodstream. Rhabdo is when that happens to a large extent, can cause renal failure because your kidneys can't process all the tissue in your bloodstream. Look it up, really interesting, kind of fringe
I've heard someone else talk about it after you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know what rhabdo is. But,
hey, the more you know.
But
So
it sets you back. It
sets me back. Then I kind of bounce back from that, and then I just have this whole year of like injury after injury after injury, and I ended up being sidelined for 8 months.
This is what year?
This is 2020. So just like the huge reckoning year for everyone, like the whole COVID. With COVID, I'm sidelined that whole year.
Is that your junior year?
That was my sophomore year. Yeah,
okay.
So 2020, I'm sidelined. And so...
I hate to interrupt, but were you getting playing time your freshman year?
No.
So you didn't play at all?
No.
So you're like a big shot.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the guy.
Like a big shot. He's on the sidelines, like going nuts, and he's not doing anything.
They called me an orange eater because I was traveling. Not everyone gets to travel, so I'm traveling. It's an honor. Like, I'm traveling, and I'm in the back eating orange.
They called you the orange eater? That was your
because all I did was eat oranges.
The legends. Like, 'cause it sounds like when you're listing all these people, it's like, man,
I was around some legends.
But you're eating oranges.
Yeah, I'm eating oranges.
But like practicing too, and like
Yeah,
just
like
kind of soaking up their
Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
So you didn't play freshman year. Then sophomore year you get
sideline.
rhabdo, so you're not like really playing.
Well, I get rhabdo, and rhabdo you can recover from. I get rhabdo, then I tear my core muscle, so then I need surgery. And then I come back from that, they cancel the season, which is cool. I'm like, oh, let's just go party, like hang out with our friends. I get COVID.
Right.
I end up having like some heart problems from COVID.
Damn.
Or they think it's heart problems, but they didn't have a baseline scan, so they just see like, oh, like your heart looks like this.
Right.
And ended up being fine. So then that's another like month and a half. I come back from that, and it's like season's back on, we need to rush you in. I tear my groin, and they can't operate on this.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like, hey, you're just gonna have to rest. So I'm out a total of 8 months. And it was just like this whole, so you asked me why I started playing football. I started playing because I thought it would make me popular. I thought I'd be able to get girls, which is a really dumb reason. I hope you don't have to edit it out.
No, I mean, you know what?
It's a real reason.
I was going to ask you, but I want to get to the NFL. Like, I could talk to you. I could talk to you for like 3 hours. Man, it's so...
I'll skip to the NFL part.
No. Like, let's get... Because right now, the way this story unfolds, you haven't played your freshman year.
I haven't played my sophomore
year. You didn't play your sophomore year. Now, you're getting to your junior year, and you tear your groin.
No. So this is also all sophomore year.
So sophomore year, you tear your groin.
Tear my groin.
Get COVID.
Core surgery.
I mean, this is a disaster.
No, this is like everything's going wrong, it feels like. But that was one of the best years of my life because I started playing this really sacred and intensive sport that takes kind of everything. It takes everything of you. And I'm playing for like a 15-year-old reason, to get girls. And now I'm 19, I'm turning 20, I'm becoming a man. It's like I'm still playing for the same reason. And all the reasons I was playing for why I started weren't there. The fans weren't there because it's COVID year, so empty stadiums. I'm not playing, so I'm not getting the clout from it. I'm not around my teammates because I'm injured. You're kind of the fly on the wall when you're injured. So the camaraderie's not there. Even something as wholesome as a camaraderie couldn't be my source of motivation. Like, so all these things are boom, boom, boom. They're not there anymore. So I looked in the mirror and I'm like, why do I play football?
Right.
And it was like very much like dude, I could walk away right now, get a great degree. I'm smart. I'll have a great time. I'll have a great story.
Yeah.
No one expected me to make it this far.
Right.
And it was just like, no, like I feel called to play this sport. I feel like God is calling me. I feel like this is my path. And I don't know how religious you are or
I'm spiritual.
Your viewers are.
I like religion. I know I believe in, I believe in a higher power, a higher purpose, whatever that is. And then,
I feel like my higher purpose was football. Like it made no sense because how else could I explain my path to get there was just so. I would explain it to people like this is years ago before the NFL, and they'd be like, "Bro, this is insane. This doesn't make sense. Like how this happened." Oh. So I felt called to it. And I was like, it's not what I do. It's the person I'm becoming along the way.
Right.
Football is making me a better person. It's making me find parts of myself I never thought I had.
Right.
And so I get back from that year. I end up playing 4 snaps in the bowl game.
This is your sophomore year.
This is my sophomore year. So like I make it back. Like at end of the season, But I go into junior season with the motivation. Like, I know why I'm playing now.
Right.
Like, the reason why I started isn't the reason I continued. I know why I'm playing. And so I went into my junior year with a different mindset. And it was, I still didn't play my junior year, though.
You didn't play your junior year
No.
either?
So that was,
When did you play? Is this like the first time you played?
I played. Yeah, the NFL was pretty. No. And so I'll get to that. So the funny part about my junior year, I played garbage time a lot of garbage time. And I think on the team, I was starting to get a rep for like, oh, this guy's a bum. He's not, he's not really locked in. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's this, he's that. He doesn't really care. And now I think people look back and like, nah, he was just behind some really good dudes. Like the dudes I was behind, I was behind, like, have played at a really high level in the NFL.
Yeah.
They've started games. They've won championships. Like, I was behind some dogs. But you don't know that when you're going through it. You're just like, oh,
Right.
this dude sucks. No, I was behind. I couldn't crack the lineup because I was behind some dogs. Like,
That's gotta be so. But now you're playing that shift of why am I doing it? I think the question of like, what do I want and why do I want it?
Yeah.
And when the motivation is intrinsic as opposed to external,
Yeah.
or when the motivation is this thing that's bigger than me, like this thing that's bigger than even this. I mean, like, for me, like doing social media, it's scary because I'm in front of people and it's like, who am I to be putting myself out there, and people can say whatever they want and judge me, and it's gotten to a place where like the purpose is service, the purpose is helping, and I'm not that important. Like, honestly, like, I'm just kind of a conduit to be able to sit here and to be able to bullshit with you and to be able to capture something, and what people think of me isn't really important. It's like, because I'm here serving, and if you like it, great, and if not, that's okay too, whatever, I'll listen. But it's not about me, it's not about me. And it sounds like for you, that was that shift where it was like, it's not about me, man. It's not about getting things. It's even like when you got in the car, I was like, dude, I have no expectations. And I gave you the book because I didn't want you to feel like you're obligated to do anything. No one needs to do anything for me, man. It's like the fact that you're willing to take the time, the fact that you are taking time out of your day. I mean, you're a busy guy. You got to train, you got relationships, you got friendships, you got life. You got only 52 weekends a year, 52 Saturdays. You're taking a few
you're
out.
breaking it down like that. I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, I gotta go. You're like, all of a sudden he runs. He's like, I'm out.
No, but it's funny because I will say I think two things can be true at once. Like, we're not individually important, but and you are so important, and the work you do and the voice and kind of the message you carry out. I think it's important.
I think when I say, my mom says the same thing. She's like, you are important, but I think it's a mind game for me. It's like, yes, I know that I have importance in the world, and we all have importance. But in terms of me being
no one is more important,
right?
No, but everyone is important.
Maybe
it's
that's
so
the way
funny.
I need to say it. You know, like even shaping it of like
we're all so important, but no one is more important than the other.
Right.
I think is what makes it beautiful.
Because like you walk around now, and you're on the Bengals. You're got cool social media. I like when you were the Grinch. I follow you. I follow you every week. I see every week. I look at your stats.
Hey, watch out for this year. This year's gonna be so fun.
I have an idea. Like I really, I feel very blessed that I truly get to meet you at this point in your life, and you're in just where you're going, because I think there's certain people I could just kind of feel it. Like, there's something you just know, like there's something about you. And I want to get to, I know, okay, we'll just do a little bit more, because I want to just.
Yeah, we got to get to the NFL point. I'm building it up.
Well, here's the thing. But like everything before that, like the fact that you weren't playing, the fact that you had to figure out, because that you're doing it for the reasons, the reason you are where you are now, I would say, I think you're saying this is because you realized the why wasn't about you getting things. It was about you really aligning with the universe, serving in a way where if you put everything into it, you surrender to whatever happens next, knowing you did everything you possibly could do.
So that's where I ended up getting, but my junior year, I'm not there yet.
Okay,
and so,
I jumped ahead.
No, you're good though, because you see the character development. So junior year, not playing. All right, my senior year. So to context, I'm finishing my master's right now at Madison in finance. I started it during school, and I came to Madison knowing like, hey, they have this program. So going into my senior year, I haven't played. There are guys who have come in after me, established themselves, played, earned their letterman. So when you play a certain number of snaps, you earn your letterman.
Okay.
And then you play it, when you do that 1 year. Then the second year you play a certain number of snaps, you earn like a letter. Then you earn a blanket. Then it's like this thing like of prestige.
Okay.
There are guys who've come in, they've earned the letterman, they've earned the blanket, they've earned the letter, like the A, and I'm just on the side. I haven't done anything. So I'm going to my fourth year, and it's like, all right.
Last year of eligibility.
No, second to last year. But I'm in my head, it's like, hey, look, I'm set to graduate in the spring. I'm gonna go all in. All in. I'm going all in. I'm going all in.
Right.
And either I do really well in football and this thing works, or it doesn't, and I walk away with one more year of eligibility left. I go finish my undergrad, start my master's. And this was actually after spring ball, because spring ball I had gotten a girlfriend and I was not locked in, and I ended up third string on the depth chart in spring ball. So I started off first string and I got demoted third string.
It's just your junior year. It's not.
No, this is my senior year.
Senior year. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I keep
yeah.
messing
So
it up
then-
for everyone. It's like Harlan, get with it.
So then after spring ball, so the
This is bad.
this is
As bad as it could get.
this is good.
Okay.
Now, but then I'm like, God, maybe this football thing isn't for me. And so the rhythm of college football is you have spring ball, then you have a little break, 2 weeks, go home, then you come back for summer workouts. After summer workouts, you have another 4 or 5 days. Then you come back for camp. Camp gets you ready for the season.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in camps basically sets you up for the season.
Okay.
So I leave spring ball, go home for 2 weeks, and I come back for summer workouts. I'm like, all right, this is the all in. I'm locked in that summer. I come into camp. I have a great camp. I end up starting. Have a great season that year. Led the team in tackles, third team All Big Ten, and then I'm PFF #1 returning linebacker.
How do you get when you were third string and then you got back to? How do you get back so high? Like, how did you?
Oh,
Not my good.
so this is look. Again, I feel like so much of my story is like God guided. Like it feels like and I'll tell you about the play for Dallas, and it's like, dude, how does this happen? Like, we had a coach, and so he had kind of established his opinion, and then he ends up getting fired. Essentially, he had some recruiting allegations. He resigns. So we get a new coach going into the summer. So it's like I learned this lesson, and then it's like I don't feel the burn from it because we get a new coach. So it's like basically a clean slate. And so the new coach comes in and he's like, yeah, I like.
You turn it up. You turn it up for the new coach. He's like, who's this guy?
Well, the new coach finds me at a place where my mind is right and the opportunity is right, and it works. And so, I mean,
What coach was that?
Coach D'Onofrio. He coaches at UCF now. He coached at Stanford for 2 years after Wisconsin. Great guy. Still talk to him to this day.
He's in your corner. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
the
one.
Don.
He changed your life.
Changed my life. I tell him to this day. To this day,
Right.
Coach D, you changed my
Oh,
life.
man.
You changed my life.
Right.
So, I have a really good year with Coach D personally, and like, there's this football magazine. They're called PFF, Pro Focus Football.
Okay.
They rank players, and people take their rankings pretty serious. I'm the #1 linebacker in the nation returning. So they rank me. I'm like the 3rd or 4th ranked linebacker in the entire season.
That's congratulations.
Yeah, no, I mean it was back in the day, so I mean it is what it is. But it was like
Frame it.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like, and so like all the guys who were ranked ahead of me like went to the draft, declared. One went in the first round. Like guys went and did their thing. So I'm of that list, I'm the highest one returning. So I'm the highest returning linebacker in the nation. I'm feeling like the man. You can't tell me anything. So we get new coaches. And there's a lot we could talk about the new coaches, but just know I end up getting benched. I don't have a good year with them. And
I thought the new coach came in and pulled
No,
you
no,
up.
I get a new coaching staff. So the new coach was senior. Okay, so
The head coach. and then
I
he
get a
brings you
new
this-
head coach.
Right.
So I get a new head coach my final year. And it's just, they're running a different system. It's a different leadership. And I don't mesh
Wait,
with them.
just the coach who gave you all that playing time.
That's my position coach. So,
Okay. I just want to understand, because if I'm a little, I mean, I know.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Okay.
No.
So let's just use numbers. 2022, I have 2 different position coaches. I have Bill Sheridan. He resigns. Then I get Mark D'Onofrio.
Okay.
But I still have the same whole coaching staff.
Okay.
Just a new position coach. In 2023, my whole coaching staff gets fired going into 2023. I have a whole new coaching staff.
That's a good one, or that's the not good one.
Well, people can search up Wisconsin's records since they've come, and
So
they
don't
can
be
make
for
the
that.
decision for them.
So that was not a good.
It wasn't great for me.
For
personally.
you personally,
Yeah.
it was rough because you were coming in as number one. You were, but they didn't really.
No, they so and this is what I love saying about the story, because it's so much character development went into this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get to the NFL part, but it's like every time I just come up with a new detail. Essentially, I'm playing really well. Any sport is, a lot of it is confidence. Football is such a confident sport. I'm in spring ball my senior year, and I'm like, I had dudes coming up to me after, like, bro, I feel like you're gonna have an All-American year. Like, I was balling out of my mind. I was making plays left and right, and it was all confidence. I was just so confident about what I had going on. My technique was sharp. I was on. Going into fall camp, I break my hand. And so my spring ball was all confidence, but I didn't know enough of the playbook. And so fall camp, I don't know enough of the playbook still, but I'm so confident, but I break my hand. And then that dramatically affects my game. So I'm not playing as well. And so now my confidence doesn't matter. I don't play as well. My technique's not there. My game falls apart. And so they bench me because I'm not playing well.
Right. So it wasn't personal.
It wasn't personal.
You just weren't performing.
Wasn't performing. The personal part comes in later, and we really don't have to talk about it. But
We'll just go. We don't need that.
There's a later part where it's like, okay, I'm locked into the playbook. I'm playing well again, but they're kind of moved on. They're like, hey, we need to set the team up for next year. We're going to start guys who are we're going to start different guys, trying to get the team ready for next year.
Right.
So that's where things became contentious.
Well, because it's your future versus the team's future, because you're trying to set yourself up for a draft.
And they're trying to set themselves up
right.
for
So, I mean, and everybody has different priorities. So it's not like one person, and they don't have any loyalty to you. No. Because they just came in there and they're trying to
win.
Right,
Yeah.
they're trying to win. They want to preserve. They want to. They want to
get right.
Wisconsin football, man.
So
not to be like, I'm not on their side. Like,
oh no. I'm like, I told myself I would never say anything I don't believe. So I'm just gonna like.
Right. I don't mean to like stir that up, but I'm just thinking of like, I just think of different points of view.
Yeah.
And it's like
their point of view is they're trying to
like.
They're thinking long term. I'm thinking, hey, I need that tape right now.
Right, because you were really in a place to get drafted, to be on top of the world, and then things kind of slid. So now you're back in that. Doesn't it get exhausting?
What?
Pulling yourself back up. Like, I mean, like,
no, I love
I'm
it.
tired.
I love
it's
it.
like, it's so.
You're exhausted hearing the story.
It's so, because it's like things are great. It's like a move. The things are, then they're not good. The things are, and then you've got, a coach who comes in and like,
sets me up. Yeah.
Sets you up for on top of the world, and then another coach comes in and they don't really see. They don't have the same priorities as you.
Yeah.
Which,
and it was my, like most, I would say 90% of it's my fault. And there's an element of it that is their impact, but
this is the law of rejection. This is the universal rejection truth. This idea that we can't control other people and other things, and there's circumstances that happen in our life, and when they happen, we have to say, is it me, is it them, is it the universe, is it this law of rejection?
Yeah.
And you're very good at being able to really go through that process and figuring out a way to move forward. Not taking it so personally that it eats you up and stops you and paralyzes you, which I think is such a strength. So then that senior year or the last year of eligibility, you exit University of Wisconsin.
Exit University of Wisconsin in a bad place. But it's so funny how this works out, because what ends up happening is I end up starting. It says I start 11 out of 13 games. Really, they would start me first series and then pull me and play the other guy. So I really only started 3 games, but those 3 games were Illinois, where I had an electric game. We had a thriller. Came down the last 10 seconds, beat them in Illinois. Started against Ohio State, who's the number 2 team in the country at the time. Had an elite game, lights out, played lights out. And then I started against LSU, number 10 team in the country. I played pretty well there too. So I leave dissatisfied, but with enough tape for me to make a case for myself.
Gotcha.
I go to these postseason bowl games like the Hula Bowl. I get invited to the East-West Shrine game, and there's coaches, there's interviews. So I end up being able, and then you're competing and practicing against other kids who are really good in the country.
Right.
So I end up, the window becomes tighter, but I end up being able to fit myself through.
Yeah.
And so once I get there, boom, then I get an invite to the combine. So there's a point, like, you asked me last February, like, I'm like, okay, like, there might be something here. There might be something here. Like, it's not pretty, but we're going to make something work. And then I go to the combine, and I swear to God, Harlan, you might have to, edit this out, I shit the bed. I go to the combine, and I like, shit my bed. And it's so funny now because it's like, whatever, but.
What do you think happened?
Well, so really what it was I had to run a 40.
Ceiling.
We don't do track, but they're obsessed with track times.
Yeah.
Because it's a game of speed. And so my strength is mental processing. I'm not like straight line speed, I'm not like crazy fast.
Right.
But I process really fast. And so it looks like I run really fast because I play fast, and I play fast because I see it fast. But they want to see me run. And I run a 4.91. And I'll tell you right now, this year at this year's combine, there was a 6'5", 300-pound D lineman who ran a 4.91. So like that's
not you.
Yeah, that's not me. If I was 100 pounds heavier, that'd be impressive. And so I run that 4.91, and I swear to God, my family's there. They're at a relative's house 40 minutes away. I go, I Uber there, and I'm like pretty much crying in the backseat. Like, I'm like, my life is over.
Did you know that's what you typically run? Like, was that a surprise? Because I know you trained, right?
The story is so funny to me now, but then it was horrible. But like, literally, I remember running and being like, oh my God, I'm running so fast right now. I am smoking the time right now. I'm gonna run 4, and then I finish it. I'm running a 4.6. And I asked and you run 2. So I run the first one, and they don't show you the time at the combine. So I asked one of the timers, like, hey, what'd I run? And the guy tells me, yeah, you don't want to know. It was probably a fluke. Just run it again.
So that's not, so the difference between, because I don't know the difference between a 4.9 and a 4.6, like you're talking 0.3 of a second, but those 0.3 of a second are huge.
Huge. I mean, it's like a race. If you see someone get beat by 0.3 of a second in a track race, they would say they got gapped. Like, you don't want to get gapped. Getting gapped is bad. Like, that's
so a 4.8 would have been like bad or not fair, not.
So, and I end up running a 4.8. We have a pro day.
Okay.
So we have a pro day. So 2 weeks later, I run a 4.79, 4.8.
Okay.
So I like make up for it on the back end.
Were you training in between them? Were you just running?
Yeah. So it was funny. Like, most of the training ended up just being mental. Like, I went back and I was like, look, I have 2 weeks. You don't get faster in 2 weeks. Like, I'm not gonna morph my body into Usain Bolt in 2 weeks.
Right.
But what I will do in 2 weeks is I will visualize myself having the day I want. I will relax myself over and over again and just get in that mode where I can trust myself. I'm gonna enter that zone so that the day of I can enter the zone. And then finally I'm gonna let it go. Like, I've put all of this in. This is year 9 or year 8, 10, whatever year it is of me. This is last year. So this is year 9 of me doing this. And if it ends here, it ends here, but I'm going elsewhere.
What's it look like when you close your eyes when you visualize? Do you see yourself running? Do you see the time? Like, how do people understand that?
So visualizing is different for everyone. My favorite type of visualization is I close my eyes, and then you do like a relaxation technique. So you relax every part of your body. And usually you're laying down. You can do, if you get good at it, you can kind of do it wherever. It ends up being pretty cool. Especially because you can kind of teach yourself to enter this state of relaxation. And visualization ends up being like self-hypnosis. Like, if you notice any hypnosis, any hypnotic guy?
Yeah.
Any hypnotist. God, blanking. Any hypnotist, they ask you to essentially enter a place where you're very open to suggestion.
Right.
And that's a place of relaxation.
So it's breathing. It's like, do you do like breathe in for like, it's like a 4-7-8 technique? Do you even think about it?
No, so sometimes I'll play certain music, sometimes I won't, but then I'll just do relaxation through my body. Like, I'll squeeze a part of my body, then I'll relax, and then I'll do that. And then if you do that, you end up being, the whole body is relaxed. And then in my mind, I like open the door, and then I enter this movie theater, and I walk down the stairs, and I sit in the seat, and I see myself eating popcorn. And then the movie starts. And then as the movie plays, that's whatever I want to visualize.
So the movie is you.
Is my life,
performing however you want. And
sometimes from third person, sometimes from first person.
Right.
Sometimes switching.
Right, where you're in it.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that story.
And then the key is to like feel the emotion. Like, how am I gonna feel when I run? Like, and it's so cool because like I visualized how I was gonna react when I ran the time I wanted, and I reacted the exact same way.
Right. That stuff's real.
Yeah. Oh no, major.
It's scary to do that because if you don't get it, there's this thing of like if you visualize, and then your life doesn't, like your reality doesn't reflect the visualization, you feel a sense of disappointment, you know, and like what's wrong, you know, like how do you deal with it when the visualization doesn't align with reality?
Yeah. So it's funny, like you also visualize with the mindset of like not when, not if, but when. So it's not like, is this going to happen, but this is going to happen eventually.
Right.
And so what ends up happening is like, one, I end up experiencing more often, experiencing the emotion, experiencing the way I want to feel more than not. But then the reality is we're always visualizing. And so like when you think of someone who worries, like the people who worry and they say like, oh, I'm just like planning ahead. Well, worrying is negative visualization.
Right.
You're just thinking about what if this doesn't work out. And so it's like, okay, if you don't believe in visualization, you say it's too woo. Just do a what if. What if I run a great time? Okay, what if that girl says yes? What if I go out and I feel great? What if I have a great time with my friends? What would that look like? And that is a visualization as well.
Right.
You know,
Cool.
So it ends up being one of those like, because you worry all the time, and like someone who worries, for example, you worry all the time, and if it doesn't work out, like if the bad thing doesn't happen, it's not like you're disappointed. You're like, oh, that still might happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Does that make sense?
You know, it's
So-
like I talk about tell the story as if it happened.
Yeah,
You know,
perfect,
and you
yeah.
like jump to the future and you go, it's a practice, you know, a lot of people have shared, because I don't want to take ownership of like tell your stories if it happened, but it's visualization from this understanding that I'm not tied to the outcome that I visualize in terms of a timeline.
Yeah.
It's that I'm going to see this and I'm going to believe it, and then I'm going to make it happen with an understanding that when I take a risk, it's not always going to go exactly as planned, because this law of rejection, the law of the universe, says that it's not always going to, but if I do it enough times, I'm going to get enough data to help me to figure out how to use that to ultimately get to the places I want to go.
Yeah.
But the scary part for a lot of people is they don't give themselves permission to actually imagine that, because if you imagine yourself when you're going to the Bengals camp of getting on that roster, because the thing is, like I was looking, it was so funny because when we met, you didn't tell me, like in the video.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't tell you. I had just signed with them. I was like, I'm not trying to just tell people.
I know we jumped from you had your bad time, or not.
Oh, yeah,
and
bad
then you went back and you got the 4.79.
Yeah.
And then there was a sparkle of hope. Like what happened from there?
Yeah, so I run the 4.91, and I'm like, all right, so I gotta just work the font on my resume. I gotta I gotta update my LinkedIn. Like it's over. And I felt bad, but I felt bad for my trainer because I felt bad for him because I felt like
You shit his bed.
Yeah, I felt like I shone a poor light on him, and like he trains all these amazing elite athletes who are Badgers. Like I train with some dogs who are all in the league right now, who really long careers, prosperous careers, and I just felt like I was a stain on his reputation. So I felt bad for him in that sense.
That's very kind of you, but I'm sure he just
Yeah,
he
no,
knows.
he was fine.
Some people have days. It's like everyone has a day, and it just so happened that day was the day where you needed
it
to
was
be.
my day where I needed to have a day.
Right. So it was a day. It's not him, but you're very thoughtful, and you're like, man, you know, it's not about me. It's about all these people who invested in me, and I want to deliver for them. So then you do the NFL. You said
so then there's a sparkle, and so then I go, basically I fast forward, I go into draft day, I'm thinking like,
so they signed. How did you get that call? Like, how did you know? Because you weren't drafted,
Yeah.
so like you didn't even know if you get an invitation. I have no idea how it works when it comes to.
So unless you're going in the first round, first 3-4 rounds, everything after that's a crapshoot. Like, so I knew I was going to be a day 3 for sure, and it's funny. I'm going to answer this and talk about the visualization thing. So I'm going into draft week, and my goal is to get drafted, and I'm feeling this tension. Because it's like Monday, between Monday and Thursday, the draft starts Thursday. Between the Saturday before and that Wednesday, you're fielding all these calls. Teams checking in on you, making sure you're healthy, making sure this is your draft day number.
They're calling you.
Yeah, they're calling you, and they're like,
Essentially
"Hey, what's your
gonna
agent's number?" So I'm talking to all these teams. I'm texting my agent. I'm like, and so this tension is building. It's building. It's building. And so Wednesday comes around, and I kind of realize, like, all right, I don't actually control if I get drafted. So like, making that my goal is kind of really dumb because it's out of my control.
Right.
And so this goes to the visualization thing. Like, visualize things that are in control. I can't control if, let's use a girl one because that's one so easy. I can't control if this girl likes me or is into me or is receptive of me. But I can't control if I come in with a good attitude, I come in respectfully, I come in with a positive mindset, and I come in open. Or like drafted. I can't visualize if I get drafted or not, but I can visualize like, how am I going to handle the stress of the day? How am I going to handle the politics of the day? Because my family's going to be here, my friends are going to be here, people are going to want things from me. How am I going to handle, okay, cool, I'm going to be like this. All right, cool, I'm going to be like this.
Yeah.
When I finally get the call, whatever it looks like, how am I going to handle it? So that I was visualizing that. I made that my goal. My goal is going to be, I'm going to enjoy the time with my family. I have people flying out from all these places, people driving in to see me. I'm going to enjoy that time. I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to celebrate this stage in life no matter what it turns out. Ended up having a great draft day. I don't go drafted, which ends up being fine. Great
How do
opportunity.
you, so because of the visualization, like
Because the goal changed.
Right, the
and so I
goal
was able to
changed.
visualize something different.
Right, the goal was to be present. The goal was to surround yourself with love.
Yeah.
The goal was to just appreciate that you were even lucky enough and blessed enough to be in a place where you could even have this opportunity, and whether or not, and you genuinely believe this. Like,
Yes, and it was
'cause some
genuinely,
right.
It was genuinely like, because, and selfishly, it was like dude, I'm going to be messed up if I don't get drafted, and that's my goal. But if my goal is to enjoy, I can enjoy this moment and these people.
Yeah.
Because these are some of my favorite people in the world, and they're all with me right now. I can enjoy that all day, all weekend, no matter if I get drafted or not.
And were they cool? Like, did you set it up like, hey, I hope I don't know how things are going to go, but I just know that we're going to be together. Like, did you temper their expectations so that they weren't going in there thinking like, Luma's first round, like, what's going on, second or third round?
I had like a. So that's how you know Jordan's my guy. So Jordan pulls up Friday or Thursday to watch the first round with me.
Where was this?
My house.
Oh, so you did it at your house. People came to your house. You didn't go to the location.
No.
Like you see people at the location.
Yeah,
and
those are like first round picks. I did not do that. I knew that.
Did you? And there wasn't a part of you that was sad or like I wished I was there.
No, it was like, because I knew I was in a first rounder, and I knew that, and I was blessed after the fifth year I had. I was like blessed to even be watching the draft, thinking like my name could get called.
Yeah.
So Jordan pulls up Thursday, we watch it. He pulls up Friday, we watch it. And then we're like, all right, bro, go get some sleep. Like, Saturday's the big day. So Saturday I wake up, I jump in Lake Michigan with Cliff Stein. He used to be legal advisor for the Bears. Good family friend. We jump in the lake together. We just do a polar plunge just to get the mind right. It's like, all right, in a couple hours, it's about to get cooking. So we jump in the lake. I get home. The party ends up being like 20 people, which isn't like a huge party, but it was decent size. I'm DJing for the first half of the day. Like, so day 3 is rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
So the first 2 rounds, 4 and 5, I'm DJing.
Right.
And then suddenly it's like this pit in my stomach. It starts in my toes. It starts coming up. I mean, as the time's going on, going up. Finally it gets to my chest around when round 5 starts. I'm like, all right. Or round 6 starts. I'm like, all right. I'm like pacing.
Right. So you're still feeling it, even though.
I'm feeling it because it's like, it's just so much like, I don't know. Draft day is really special. I'm doing it with Jordan this year, and I'm excited to see how it goes for him. But it's like, your entire life is on the line, like your future. Like at any given moment, I end up shipping out to Cincinnati, but it could have been like LA. It could have been Buffalo, New York. It could have been like New England. Like I could have shipped anywhere out, and it ended up being Cincinnati.
So they drafted you?
No, so I get a call. So the draft it's like the 7th round, and Green Bay calls me.
Right.
And they have a pick coming up. And I'm like excited, but I'm kind of nervous because they've already drafted 2 linebackers.
Okay.
So they call me and it's like, okay, hey, we're thinking about trying to get you. I'm trying to convince the coach, but what do you think about undrafted with us? And so I'm like, they've already signed 2 linebackers. Like they've invested money, bonuses into them, and they're in my class. Like if I come, I might just be like a body. Like I don't know if they're investing in me.
Right.
At the same time, Cincinnati calls. Cincinnati's kind of used up their picks at this point, or this is how I remember it. I don't know if this is accurate, but I think they'd already used up their picks. So I'm already kind of like, okay, they're trying to do an undrafted dude. So they call me, they offer an amount.
So they give you money?
Yeah, so they give me a signing bonus.
Oh, okay.
So they offer me an amount. I'm like, yeah, okay. They double it. I'm like, okay. And then they triple it. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't want to be a Bengal. And
so that's like guaranteed just to show up.
yeah,
so like,
signing bonus.
Okay.
But these are billion-dollar corporations. So these are pennies to them.
Right.
You know, but I mean, look.
It's cool to get anything, you know, to like.
No, major. So it was major. I mean, I took the deal and we started celebrating right away.
That's great.
We started celebrating.
So there
right
wasn't
away.
like it wasn't public. Was it public that you were like an undrafted sign?
Yeah. So because they publicized that information somewhere. So like shortly after, like an hour later, my phone starts blowing up.
Man.
And my parents never encouraged me to play football. Like it wasn't like, Muma, you're going to play football, get us out of this situation. They were good. They're like, just be great at whatever you do. So for them, it's like we're Cameroonian. Like any way you get in the league, you're in the league. They don't care if you're first round. They don't care if you're undrafted.
Right.
We were celebrating like I just went first overall. Like it was that type of celebration.
Right.
It was so fun.
That's beautiful.
It was so
That's
fun.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you go. So then I then met you.
Yes.
How long after that?
So May 4th, draft day was April 27th. So like a week later.
So it was a week later, and you didn't share publicly with me because you just didn't want that to be part of something.
I was just like, so I learned from my time in Wisconsin. I was like, I don't want to just be I'm a Badger, I'm a Bengal. Like,
so you're super humble. Like in that conversation, you were like very grounded. You were just like, you know, you had wisdom. You weren't looking for. It really wasn't like I'm looking for the spotlight. It was really, you know, both of you. It was very much service, and then you go. And
the reality is, sorry to cut you off. The reality is, I just come off of a very humbling year. It's very humbling to run a 4.91 on national television. It's very humbling to. I had a commercial my fifth year in Madison, and it was one of those. It was a widespread commercial. If you watched any sports on YouTube and had an ad, you would probably see my commercial. I had people who would come up to me like I was known. I was the captain of our defense. I was known in Madison. People who didn't know me would come up to me and talk to me about football. And so to get benched in that scenario is very humbling. Very humbling. It's great because today's struggle becomes tomorrow's strength. And so that was very struggle. Right. It was a struggle. Like I'm out at the bar trying to just chill with my guys, and people I don't know are coming up to me asking me questions I don't want to have answers to. I don't have answers
asking about being benched?
Yeah, they're like, why are you benched? Why aren't you playing? We need you out there. What's going on? What's going on? It's like, dude, like, let me just have my Corona in peace.
Right, and you got to be okay with that.
Yeah,
right?
And so when I met you, I was at a place where I had, from the outside, some people were like, oh, that's a huge success. You just signed this to this team. And it was from, I was in a place where it was like, I've been in a place where people say you're a success. And I've not let it change me, but I've let it affect me in a way where when it was no longer a part of my life, it was like a crutch. I've used it as a crutch before, and I've had that crutch taken away, and so that's where it comes from, a place of like, sorry if I'm rambling, but it comes from a place of like,
so perfect.
Yeah, it comes from a place of like, and people are like, oh, like now I'm back in South season. People are like, oh, you're the footballer, you're the Bengal. I'm like, no, I play football. You know, and I'm honored to be a part of the Bengals organization. Every day I try and prove myself to be worthy of, to be in that building. But the reality is I'm a person who plays football. I'm bigger than the fact that I play football. We're all bigger than the job titles we have, and I try not to attach to it too much because at the end of the day it won't be there. You know, whether it's 10 or 20 years from now.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly in my head. I was thinking, you know, it's all temporary.
Yeah.
You know, it's all temporary.
Yeah.
And when we make that thing that's temporary the core part of our identity, then we really risk losing ourselves.
Or we lose ourselves, and what's worse for me is I read this in a book. This is not me at all. It was a Dalai Lama's book on happiness, but it was like, if you let your fame or your money or your status or your looks be the thing that people attach themselves to in terms of that's how they get to know you through that lens, when all of those things fade, your fame, your money, your
Yeah.
looks, how will people won't have a real attachment to you? They'll have an attachment to the things you provide.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think you were going to attach to me for I'm an undrafted free agent. Like, I didn't think you were going to attach to me like that, but it made me cognizant of the fact that, hey, if I'm meeting people, I'm meeting them through the lens of, I'm Muma. This is who I'm about. This is what I'm about. Now I'm Muma the football.
Right. I think that's, it's interesting because I think when we're talking about like, I'm not important or, and I think it really comes back to, I think the fear for me of feeling too important is if I make the things that other people look at me for as being important, then I risk getting very hurt and not being enough, because if the attachment is to those important things and I really believe those, and that's been kind of just my journey of trying to feel enough, then I'm not going to feel enough. So I have to, sometimes I go to the extreme of I'm not important, but it's what people think of me and what they attach to me isn't as important. And for anyone, and that's the thing which is really tricky, because when you're playing for the NFL and you have that spotlight, and it's interesting because we were talking earlier about the amount of time you're actually on the field, and if you were to take that time and you were to put like a value of that time of like, what is time in terms of like, if you were to rank time and like concentrated energy and intensity, it's like when you're in a play, when you're returning, because I know, and we don't even need to get into all the details of like your special teams, you found your place, you find your place at special teams, but like, and that's such an intense situation, like there's so much going on, and it's so easy to be that, like, because it's like, it's almost like a drug, it's like, I mean, that's, you can't feel, like when a play's about to start and you're getting ready and, the kicker kicks that ball, like, what are you feeling? Like,
what am I feeling? I'm feeling, well, to me, right, I might sound crazy when I talk about football, but for me, before I start a game, my pre-game ritual is I have this meditation that I do. Trigger words to be your best. It's from UW Meditation Athletics. My good friend Chad McGee. I listen to that, and I take out my journal and I start writing. And I'll say something like this: I'm about to enter the arena. For 60 minutes, I'm immortal. I'm untouchable. Can I swear on this?
Swear, yeah.
Yeah, I'm unfuckwithable. I can't be touched.
Yeah.
When I put on the pads, and I just tell myself, like, I put on the pads and I'm him. I'm the embodiment of everything I've ever wanted to be. I'm the pinnacle. I'm the peak. Because the body will go where the mind goes. So I take my mind to a place of where I'm in the zone and I can't be messed with. And so when the actual ball, like the football itself, is being played, and I'm in that mode, it's like you can't. It's like that's the drug. That's a good place.
So you're in a different, it's almost like you've transformed into an entirely different version of you.
I've transcended this mind state, and the key is to be able to be there, and it's not like you're going into a frenzy and you're foaming at the mouth, because you lose energy that way. It's a place of concentrated like focus. It's like a cobra ready to strike. It's really cool.
Are you in that for the entire game?
No, so that's really hard. So that's where I've struggled with, and that's like going into this year, like being able to maintain that focus for 60 plus minutes, because you can go into overtime and you see people break like that. And so, so that's where I take myself. And so when I play the game, it's like, to me, I play football from a place of joy, and some people play it from a place of like trying to inflict pain and this. For me, it's like, yes, I'm trying to inflict pain, I guess. I'm trying to make plays, and I'm trying to separate my boys. I'm trying to execute. If that involves me smacking someone, like, I'll smack them. But it's not like, I don't know. I think people call me soft for it, but for me, it's like,
well, I don't think you don't sound soft, man.
Yeah,
you sound
it's a different place. Yeah, it's a level of intensity. Like, joy can be intense. But I think people play the game from a different place. For me, it's a place of joy, and like, it's something that's just so fun and so enjoyable. And that's how I play, and that's how I celebrate, and try and pick on my teammates when I play, because that's That's where I play the game from. And so I make sure I enter that place of joy and that place of like, I can't be messed with. This is pinnacle. This is peak. That's where I play the game.
Yeah. I want to talk to you a little bit more. I want to get back to
Abril?
Yeah, of course. Of course, as Abril. I was thinking of actually where I want. I know Abril. I was thinking of where I wanted to walk.
Oh, the orchids.
Well, I was thinking I want to just do a quick lap. Because I wanted over here, and then we'll like start to go back.
Yeah, let's do it. Dude, this place is great. I'm not gonna lie. I could be here forever.
I know.
This is peaceful.
I love this spot. I
man.
want to.
This is great.
I want to take a picture of us in front of the spot because it's one of my favorite spots. And again, I'm so grateful. Thanks for being so kind, man. Like, thanks for
listening to me talk for however many hours.
This is the things you're sharing. You know, the things that you're telling us. You know, these are things that I don't really know, and I think most people don't understand. And it's not easy to. Here, do you want to?
Yeah,
that'd be great. Okay. And then let's do it. We got that, and then let's do it that angle too.
This is a great angle.
It's great.
Thank you.
If you want, and I'll take one of you just by yourself.
Oh, cool.
Because this is one of my favorites, and this is such a good place to be here. I'll do it so you can see this is the making of the picture. Okay? The making of the picture.
Me figuring out my pose.
So I don't fall over. Well, I saw you. You're like a model. I saw you. There were some other pictures of you.
Yeah,
like
in my fashion bag.
Yeah, you got like a whole thing. Oh, that's good. Do that. Looking to the side again, and then. Do you want me to do a portrait mode? Here, I'll do a portrait, and we'll put these.
See, Harlan's working overtime right now.
You know what? I want you to have some, I want you to get some value out of this.
Oh, Ooh. This is the value of just sharing, because you share the principles, and then it reminds me what I believe.
Ooh.
And then it reminds me to make sure I'm living it.
Yeah, and you'll have these as a reminder, of like, oh, hold on. You know what, man? That picture.
This is the one?
Holy. Look at that picture. Look at the lighting.
Oh, wow, that's a good picture.
There's something. Look at that. Damn, that is a good.
That's a good picture.
That is like, look at this picture.
Oh, that's a good picture.
Oh, I think so. Maybe I'm just making it up.
No, I'm going to send it to my mom. She'll probably say it's good, but
it's good. I'll send you all these. Okay.
She's biased.
So, all right, we'll do a quick lap,
okay.
And then we'll get back to Abril.
I'll text her right now. Hey,
I know, she's
I'm
been
still alive.
I know, because I wanted to just like go deep, and the way I'm looking at this, Maema, is I'm not gonna be able to get everything. I can't get everything that I want to get.
That's okay.
And I know your life is busy, and you're gonna be doing some really. I have to tell you, man. Like, I know, but I know like you're gonna do some. Like your life, beyond football.
Yeah.
Just do you think it's going to be pretty interesting?
I think I'm gonna make it interesting. I think I have to. It's funny. I've heard a similar sentiment my whole life. Like, people always tell me, "Oh, you."
Oh, I'm sorry to be like everyone then.
No. It's cool. It's one of those things where I don't know how to describe it. I think I have to figure that one out. But it's something I've definitely thought about. And it's like, hey, I feel like there's a lot I could give for the world, and I have to offer the world. So anytime I'm like messing around, or I'm not always locked in, and I think there's times that I remind myself, like, hey, there's so much I have to offer the world, and I have to make sure that I develop myself so I can give back to the world.
Wow.
Did some people just get engaged?
They get engaged?
Oh gosh, do we turn around?
Oh, this is great. I'm gonna walk around. Oh, you want to?
Yeah.
No, let's go around. We'll just go around.
Yeah.
This is exciting. Oh, that's so wonderful. They got engaged. This is really exciting. People just got engaged.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
This is another. Look, more steps, more beautiful steps.
More beautiful steps. We're just witnessing life. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's actually gorgeous.
This is let me see this one. This one's really pretty too. This is the dry garden, the Zen garden. Look at that. It's so nice. They got engaged. Look at that. How beautiful. Oh, this is another one. I don't know if I've seen this one there's one over there that I love. But what's fascinating is, like, this is in the Chicago area. Like, it looks like we could be
in Japan.
Yeah. Did you travel this year? Did you go international for any games?
No, next year.
Where are you guys going?
I think Germany is
That's cool.
Heard, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's cool. So the whole
kind of corner now because the engagement. That's so cute. Oh my God.
Thank you
This
so
is the most
much.
beautiful
Oh my
place.
God, of course.
Oh, she took pictures.
Oh.
That's what I was gonna take a picture. Oh.
Next? Okay. Yeah.
Her best friend's
Wow.
next?
This is a popular engagement.
This is where people get engaged.
This is the
Wow.
spot up here.
This is it.
This is
Huh.
it. Okay.
Wow.
The more you know.
It's a lot of magic happening
Yeah,
here.
a lot of magic.
And it was just the timing. It just worked out. I think we were just there when I think that he popped the
Yeah,
question.
he said, oh my.
Do we? Right. She's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's we heard the.
Wow. We're experiencing everything. It's amazing. It's new beginning for them.
Here.
I know. And coming back here when everything's blooming is
I think that's mandatory.
the contrast is so powerful. And I think it is like the whole season thing. All right. So the thing is, you go to camp,
Yep.
total underdog, because I've read the story. Like, no one really was looking at you as making it's 50, how many people are on the roster?
53 man.
50, I would say 52.
Yeah.
But 53. So the idea of you actually making it,
Yeah.
and then you go to camp, and you just turn it on, man.
Yeah.
Like you had a crazy camp.
Yeah.
Like no one even predicted it, right?
no,
like
no.
isn't that like tell us about that?
So that was funny. I think it's one of those things where it's like, I have a mentor, Ramos, who I will talk about all the time. I'm going to his house after this, actually.
Mentors are important, right?
Yeah, major.
How do you meet this? I know I always go down these little pathways, but how do you meet your mentor?
He was actually, he was head of the physical education. Oh, a lot of busy activity right now. No, so he was the head of the physical wellness program.
Yeah.
Are you trying to go back the way we came?
I just want to keep walking.
Okay, cool.
This is a cool area too.
Let
Okay.
me just text Ramos, actually. I'm supposed to see him after this. So then,
Okay. He's a physical education at which school?
Stevenson.
At Stevenson. So the head of your high school
Yeah.
education.
So now he's the vice principal of. He's one of the vice principals.
I just love that.
Yeah,
Right? He's
so-
he's in your corner.
Yeah, in my corner, dude. Just
That's the best.
leveling
That's the
up.
best. Right. You're gonna see him. You still
I'm gonna
see
go
him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see his kids and
Right.
hang out with him. And we're supposed to get Pequods. I'm gonna get Pequods by myself if he
Pequods is
doesn't
good.
allow me to do it with him. So,
It's one of my other favorite
oh,
little areas.
we can enter here.
Yeah. No strollers though. We don't have one.
Wow.
Which
No
is great.
strollers.
So this is another like stepping stone path. So
Me and Ramos.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Ramos, that's my guy. So anyway, so camp was just like, camp was really cool. It was a blessing. And Ramos, being my mentor, he tells me, hey, look, just so you know, like, there's more. Like, people are only surprised because they only expected so much from you after
Right.
this senior year you had. But he said, I know you. I know what you're capable of. There's
Right.
more. And so I'm very blessed to have the year I had,
Right.
especially the camp I had. But I know there's so much more. There's another level.
So you get to camp. So this is weird. We're like this is exit only. Okay. So because I really want to get that mindset of you going,
Yeah.
you're there, and the expectations in terms of actually making the team. And if you don't make the team, what happens? Like if you don't make the
And
roster,
he's gone.
right?
He's
So
gone.
the contract's over. It's like
Yeah.
Okay.
Whip out the resume, start making calls.
right. So high stakes. So you go there, and Ramos is like really making it
He's in my
clear,
corner. He's
right?
in my
Like
corner.
like you got something that they don't really know,
They don't know. Yeah. Everything you have, it's unknown. It's unknown.
which makes you like a secret weapon in a sense.
Secret weapon. That's
Go
that
in there
secret.
under the radar.
Under the radar.
No one's really targeting you.
No. And it was cool. I mean, that was a really special time, like, in my life, in my development as a man, because I did something really hard, kind of. But again, I never thought about the odds. And so I had a friend, and he was like, bro, the odds are against us, we're undrafted. And it hurt, and it struck me for like a day. But I write poetry, and so I started writing a poem, and it was like, the odds are against me. But it's always been like that. They've never
Right.
been with me.
Yeah.
And so why start thinking now? And that was how the poem went. But that was the essence of the poem. It was like,
The
why
odds
start
are
thinking about
against
the
me.
odds now?
Do you have that poem?
I think it's half baked.
Do you want to
I think
share
I
it?
started
Do
it.
you want me to include? Can I include it with this?
Yeah, sure.
Can
Let me
I get the
fucking find
half-baked
it.
one?
Yeah. The odds.
Look at this spot. This is another spot. Look how pretty that is.
This is a nice sponsor, actually. I'm definitely coming here in the undrafted free agent. So 7/24/24 poetry. The undrafted free agent. That's all I have. So the odds being against me.
So is it your season?
This is truly half baked. So this is July 24th, 2024.
Right.
Undrafted free agent. Odds are against me. All right. Thank you.
So you just do that. You'll just go on your phone.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I don't want to like share anything that's too
No,
personal?
yeah. No. So this one is. What if my life's good right now? No one told me yet. So I was just, because I'm in this place, right? I'm in this place and I'm like waiting. I'm like, my life is gonna be good down the road, and people, and it's hard. Making it in the NFL is hard, and people don't understand.
Yeah.
And all they think about is the money, and so you got $1 million money, but you got $1 million problems now, and that's hard.
That's
That's
I
really
think it's the
hard.
first time we talked about money.
Yeah, first time.
Isn't that wild?
I mean, it's good.
It's fascinating because, you know, it's just interesting because I was thinking, because I'll be honest, what I did is because I feel I'm almost a little embarrassed, but I looked up, like, you could see contracts of like people's contracts.
Yeah.
Right. So I looked up, I was like, I wonder how that works, because I know the first couple years you get paid, the least, assuming, first couple years are really rite of passage,
Yeah, rite of passage. You make all your money on signing bonuses first couple years. If you're undrafted, your signing bonuses.
I don't even think they even show that in the thing. But I looked, and it's like, it's great. It's great. It's exciting. You got to pay your agent. You got to pay your taxes. You got to do all these things, and then you got to hope that if that's going to be your path. You have so many different paths, but it's a nice thing. But that's not what it's about for you.
No. It was never about the money. It's not.
Right.
Bad, but it's like there's this thing about humans called hedonic adaptation.
Yeah.
And so basically, it's why people become addicts to anything, or why like pain becomes tolerable. You just adapt to all of it, and so like the money is good, and then you adapt to it, and then it's like, oh, you're just making this, and it's like, if it's, at least me, it's only about the money, like. It can only take you so far.
Right, and all that is temporary too. It's like you hope it lasts, and that's great. And it seems like the people who really end up accumulating the most are the ones who do it not for accumulating the most, but for the other value, the service, the challenge, all those other pieces. So you get there, and you're not really looked at as being a hot prospect, and then you go in there, and tell me just, what were those? It's like, how many weeks is camp?
So there's two parts. There's the OTAs, the spring part, which is like 6 weeks, and then there's the camp part, which is like 8 or 9 weeks. And so for me, it was like every day is an interview. And so I went into OTAs. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, there's this beautiful bell tower. We'll just go there, and then we'll circle back, and then we'll go meet Deborah. Yeah.
Cool.
And hopefully she's enjoyed. She's very inspired. She's gonna be very inspired. She's gonna be inspired for a long time.
For years. So I'll tell her like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
That'd be max.
We'll find you.
Yeah. This is so. Thanks again.
Dude, I appreciate you.
This is fun, because, I just I'm so curious, I think that idea of just, being wildly curious and talking to people who know things that you don't know, and just learning, it's scary. Like even approaching you that day, and I know it's like, I'm like a lot older, have had a lot of different experiences, but I get nervous when I talk to people.
Really?
I do.
I do too. I think it's good.
It's like it's your space, it's your world, and I don't want to
infringe on one.
Yeah, but being curious is more important than what I'm willing to risk what someone thinks to find an answer that I'm really curious about. So like the wild curiosity like overpowers the fear of judgment.
I feel you.
And that's been really helpful. So all right, so now you go to camp.
And for me it was like, all right, so I got something to prove. They're I hope someone from the Bengals organization doesn't find this. I mean, even
Well, they're
going
gonna see this.
Yeah, they'll see it.
You know, I was thinking about that too because I also want to, as much
I hope
as
they do see it, because this is my lived, reality.
Yeah.
Down. And sorry, I totally cut you off.
No, I was thinking about that. One of the things whenever I talk to someone, I always want to make sure that anything that's shared is really going to, elevate them or help them.
Yeah.
Or, and I think that part of like, I was also wondering, like, you're a rookie, and you're willing to talk and share, and that's also scary because like people could think things like, people on your team could see this, other people you've played, the people in your paths, and who knows, or no one will see this. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't even know. It doesn't even matter.
Wait,
but,
where's this going? YouTube?
Yeah, it goes on. I do a podcast. It goes on YouTube.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and then I'll pull clips, and I'll put them on my social media.
Oh, that's nice.
Because what I want to do, and it's like, this is the thing. Like, we're at different points in our journey.
Is your arm tired, by the way? I can totally hold it.
No, dude, my arm's tired. I'm an athlete. You saw me walking.
That's right. Laboring up those.
I bowled. I was also a very big bowler in middle school.
A bowler?
Bowler. I bowled like bowling, like.
Oh.
I made the state finals.
Did you actually?
Oh, I was so.
You gotta teach me. I'm horrible.
I was so terrible. The truth is, my handicap was like 100. I had a really good day, and I ended up like qualifying for the state finals.
That's so not fair. That's insane.
Oh yeah, and I had like 100 because with a handicap, and I finished last in the state finals. I was terrible.
No, that's like really impressive. Even with the handicap.
It was fun. This is another area. So like, if we had more time, and this is what I did. Sometimes I came here one day and I just walked for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But you go back there and then there's like these wildflowers, and that's where I think they have like this big stinky plant, this big plant that I think that's where there's like another conservatory. But you can just, you really can get lost here.
Yeah, I feel like I would get lost.
It's really wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, we'll show in those places. The thing is, I think you're very honest, and this is helping so many people, because a lot of people who are going to watch this are people who are in high school, people who are in college, people who have a dream and they're on this path, and you become the person who's in their corner by sharing all those different aspects. And not everybody has that, and I think most people don't have that, and it's really powerful. So all right, so you're there.
Let me say something to the people who do have a dream. And I think the thing about advice is it's so context dependent. My life is different from anyone else's. But what worked for me in my life was I never had a dream of like, I have to be this. I have to be this. I have to be this. My parents' whole thing was just being excellent at whatever you do. And so holding on loosely, especially when you're young, holding on loosely in terms of what you define success to be and excellence to be, or like what you want to be, which is kind of counterintuitive. But when you're young, you don't necessarily need to choose, but you do need to try things. And so when you're young, I would really encourage people to like try different things, but try and be good at the things you do. They're not like naturally good, but like good from hard work and effort. Then over time, you'll develop and you'll figure out like, oh, okay, this is the thing I really want to be good at. And so like people tell me all the time, like, do you have advice for someone who wants to make it to the league? And I'm like, my advice would be whatever you do, be the best at it. Like strive and work hard to be the best at what you do, and it will lead you where you want it to be. It led me to the NFL, but like it easily could have led me to being the best trumpet player in the state of Illinois. Like that was my thing before the football. And just because I play in the NFL doesn't make that job is not any better than being the best singer, the best at jiu-jitsu, the best doctor. Like those things aren't necessarily inherently better just because I'm on TV.
What about the part though? I'm sorry. No, finish.
No, but the work is no different. Yeah. Like it's hard work to be really good at what you do. And I'm not at the top of. I'm in a place where I'm in the 1%, but in the 1%, I'm very average, even below average. In that 1%.
Are you hungry to get?
Hungry, starving. Oh my God, I'm starving. And it's work, and it's dedication, and it's sacrifice, and it's like But at the end of the day, it's the path I've chosen, and people want this path, but choose the path that chooses you as well.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, not everyone's going to make it to the NFL, but you can be great and elite and change the world in something else, and it doesn't have to be football. So that it's kind of long-winded, but that's my advice to people, especially young people, and yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. But then there's the people who say, Harlan, I want to do these 5 different things, and I'm too afraid that if I do one of these things, I'm not going to be successful, and they become paralyzed with the fear of not. They become paralyzed that if they're going to they want to choose a path that's going to have the highest likelihood of success.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's funny. Like, what does success mean? Are they saying monetary success? Are they saying like they want to choose the path where they can get to the top, the easiest?
I think it's high achievers though. High achievers who are used to big results.
Because I was like
results.
that.
Right. I was thinking, you did really well in academics. You've excelled in lots of places. So people who have had success, they become paralyzed because if there's something they really want to do or are drawn to, they don't know if they're going to be successful doing it because they haven't had a lot of experience struggling.
Yeah, and I would say those people have they probably don't want to hear this. Those people have a fragile self-concept, and it's not an attack, it's not personal, but it's just, the reality is, like, success says less about who you are and more about what you've done, and failure is the same. And so the people who I think that are the unhappiest are people who succeed and say, I'm a success, or I succeeded because I'm so smart, or I succeeded because I'm this. And the happiest people are who succeed, and they take success and failure the same. They celebrate their successes and they learn from their failures, and they never internalize it.
Yeah.
Those are the happiest people. And so
you see that, and you're around those people.
Yeah,
you're
I'm around
them
those
at the highest
people.
level, and elite level, and all different aspects, from coaching to being on the field to just all of the different the dynamics. I tell people, I say, experiment.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission to have whatever experience you're going to have, understanding exactly what you just articulated so beautifully, is whether you get the outcome you want or you get an outcome you didn't expect that maybe doesn't feel great. That information is going to inform you and help you to decide if you want to keep moving forward. But if you work your hardest and surround yourself with people who reflect who you want to be and the excellence you want to achieve, then you're going to be in a position to learn and grow and win, or learn, which is like the name of the book, it's Nelson Mandela's quote. But it's, if you're always going to win or learn, then what really is at stake?
Yeah. And I would encourage people, and this is something I've learned to love, like, find things you're bad at. The world is so big and wide, you're actually bad at most things. Like, you're bad at most things. I picked up DJing some years ago. I sucked. I started jiu-jitsu. I'm a white belt. I'll get my butt kicked every given day. Like, find things you're bad at and do those things. And this is to maybe get accustomed to that feeling of struggle. But you're not good at most things. Like, everyone is a beginner. Everyone has to start at the beginning for most things. And there's actually a beauty in that. That's learning to learn and learning to enjoy learning. I'm reading a book right now, The Art of Learning. Beautiful book by Josh Waitzkin. That is where beauty happens. And so I think people, I don't know, there's not enough said for that. I think there's so much of winning early and being told how smart you are and how great you are, and it's like, how gifted you are. You can buy into that. You'll never grow. You'll never be great. You'll never be elite at what you do if you buy into that at a young age. And you can unlearn if you bought into that. But I had to learn to unbuy myself from that, if that makes sense. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. I think it's so important. I love the idea of being terrible at something, giving yourself permission to be awful at
something.
something.
Just do something because it's fun. I suck at singing. You will see me front row at a karaoke night, though. I suck at singing.
That's the best. I love it, and it really gives you. What it does is it releases you from expectations when you're really bad at something, because your only expectation is you're bad. So it's like anything above that is really exceptional.
And it helps you appreciate those who are really good at what they do, because you're like, dang,
Yeah.
this is really hard. And the good ones make it look easy.
Right.
Like,
So free yourself and do things that you don't have to be great at doing, and just do it for the experience of doing, and then do it with as much intensity and hunger and fire as you possibly can, which brings us back to you now, going to camp, right?
okay, I will answer this question. I've dodged it 8 times. All right. Are we on the road?
Yeah,
right
we're
now?
gonna circle around there,
Oh.
and then we're gonna go back towards like the main area.
Where
And
did this car come from?
are we? I don't even know. You know what? I don't think I've gone this way before, but it really is appropriate. See, everything's a metaphor because I haven't gone down this path before,
Another vibe.
and
This
I
is-
almost got hit. But that's okay.
That's okay, because
That's okay because I would have learned.
we saw it coming.
You saw, you helped me in my corner.
I would take you to the hospital. Nah.
I know, but I know. See, the thing about me is, like, I know generally how to get to places where what I'll do when I'm lost. We gotta get to your story. We gotta get to camp in the NFL. But what I'll do is when I'm lost or not sure where I'm gonna go, I ask somebody to, if you were to throw a rock where I need to go, like, can you, like, I'm talking like physically, like, you know, just do that so I can at least know the direction.
Yeah.
And then I do that, like, and I see over there the big building, like the main building
cool.
there, and I know, like, I see this, and eventually we're gonna get there, and
Wait, we took the
and-
scenic route.
yeah, we get there in a different path. Okay, and your path has been different. See, everything is a metaphor.
So we're bringing it back to camp.
Everything's a metaphor, right? Because you didn't take the main path
No.
to get to camp,
No.
and so you're there, and
So I'm at camp. I'm gonna make it really simple because it's involved in this one. This story is still ongoing. My time in Wisconsin, the book is closed, and so I can reflect on it. My time
Yeah.
at the Bengals is still ongoing. So there's some things that only make sense about year 1 and year 3, you know, or in year 2.
yeah,
So I still have to get there. But camp. I think I have to go to another camp to really understand my first camp. But my feeling of OTAs was, all right, I'm not here to make friends. And I'm a very social person. I'm very outgoing. And my whole thing was like, and I told you, when I told you let the work be the reason you fit in
in
May.
Yeah.
Last year I watched the video with that Brill in the car. So that's why it's fresh in my memory. That was my mindset.
right. You're
I was like,
locked in.
I'm locked. I was saying no to everything. And it kind of sucked, but I kind of got used to it. I was like, and it became this thing where I would scooter everywhere, those little Lime scooters.
Yeah.
And I would, every morning, scooter to the stadium from the hotel we were staying at. And it was like I fell in love with the city. I'd sit by the riverbank and I'd meditate. I'd read my Bible. And it was like I fell in love with the city. And I just pray every day, like, man, I want to stay here. God, like, help me stay here. And so that was my mindset outside the stadium. And once I got in the stadium, it was like I could tell my coach liked the other kid. He had a really good season. He was all Big Ten. Like, he was first team he had a great season, and I could tell my coach liked him. And so my thing was like, I'm gonna show him up. Like, coach is asking questions in general.
Yeah.
I'm answering before he's getting like, boom, boom, boom. I'm answering so much so like day 4 or 5, my coach was like, Mooma, shut up. I need to hear him talk. Let the kid talk. And
Like
so
questions about like plays, about
yeah,
like,
so they gave dude, it was diabolical. They gave us the playbook, and then they started asking us questions about it 3 days later.
you
later.
studied it, like you just
I mean, Harlan, I'm talking about like,
ACT prep.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was like I made flashcards. So I taught myself French when I was younger.
Yeah.
In 8th grade, and I used this spaced repetition, language learning flashcard system. And so I just did the same thing with I made flashcards for my football playbook.
Handwritten.
No, online on my computer.
What would you use?
Anki.
Anki?
Yeah, it's a common people use it for medical school. I use it to learn French.
Okay.
I spoke like almost fluent French, pretty much. Like it was really good French. I've since forgotten it, stopped practicing, but I've used it before, and I like just knew like this is the way.
Right. And you were like in your hotel room by
The
yourself?
hotel room with
You don't have a roommate, or do you have a roommate?
no roommate, but I'm in the hall with other other Bengal rookies.
Are you doing it with? Are you also including them, or are you just kind of doing your
I
own
was
thing?
always open, like if anyone wanted to study, if anyone had questions, but it was like other than that, I was like, dude, I'm gonna go study my flashcards. I'm gonna show up early. I'm gonna learn everyone's name in the building. I'm gonna
Right.
put my best foot forward, like, and I'm gonna just enjoy this moment every single day.
Right. Let's go this
Oh,
way.
where are we? Over here?
Yeah, we're kind of back like towards. So,
Oh, cool.
you're studying, you're cramming,
I'm
you're
studying,
learning it.
learning.
You're like, are you visualizing it? Like, you're not just learning it.
Yeah.
You're like seeing it, right?
I'm visualizing it, and then, so OTAs was good. OTAs, you don't really make the team in OTAs, but
Yeah.
you can kind of, OTAs is necessary but not sufficient. Like
Right.
and that's another thing I think people need to learn of the concept of.
I'm gonna show you something.
Oh, cool.
I'm listening up.
No, another thing I had to learn the concept of, like, there are a lot of things that are necessary, but those things alone in themselves isn't sufficient. It's like weight training.
Right. So you
Oh,
didn't-
I think the model.
This is a railroad. I just wanted people to see. This is so cool. It's a model railroad garden, and it's not open now, but it's fantastic. And they have all these different trains, and there's like, I forget. There's someone who is in charge of it. I don't know if he's a conductor or whatever it is, but
a mini railroad conductor.
oh, it's so great. It's so great. I have
Dude,
so
I see
much
why
video.
you have a membership. You love this place.
I have all these videos. I should probably insert. It's so annoying when I wonder if I'm going to the Regenstein Center there. So
So OTA, spring ball, essentially OTAs.
so
Is,
you were really knowledgeable. Really. Oh yeah, finish.
yeah, no. So it was the things I did in OTAs.
You said OTA is what? I keep interrupting you.
Optional training activities.
Okay. And then-
Essentially spring ball for the NFL.
okay. So that happens in like,
April to mid-June.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
So you're learning.
learning the plays, meeting my teammates. But I'm saying to myself, and so we come back in camp, and before camp, like, really my success came from the summer. Like, so I burned my summer. Like, Monday through Friday, I'm driving an hour to Milwaukee, training, driving an hour back, taking a nap, and then I'm studying football. I mean, 6-7 hours.
Right.
And it was one of those things where, oh, my voice just changed. It's different in here.
Did it? Oh,
This
right,
is-
because
Yeah.
I thought you were going through another level of maturity. I thought something just happened right now. You reached like a higher level, a
transcended.
different level.
No. No, so OTAs, like, or so the summer, it was this point where, like, I feel like I'm studying. Let's say I was doing 3 or 4 hours a day, and I couldn't sleep. And I'm having all these dreams about football, and it's like, dude, what's going on? And so I start doing more hours. I go from 4 to 6. Then I go from 6 to 7. 7 was the breaking point. I finally started sleeping better.
Okay.
And so it was this thing where it was like my mind wouldn't let me rest unless I knew I had done enough.
Right.
And it was like this felt sense. And that was one of the coolest things I'd ever felt, because it was like, oh, okay, like my mind is looking out for me right now.
Wait, so tell me, it got the sound. I don't know if the sound. There's the India blooms. This is
Oh,
the.
that's so cool. The
I'm
orchid,
so sorry.
how do you say that? Orchid or
This
orchid?
is the Orchid Festival. Wow. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Okay, I should always ask. This is great. I'll come back. Oh, okay. My wife loves orchids. Okay?
Orchids.
Yeah. I wanted to hear. I want to just make it very clear, because what you said, you were studying this and you were totally immersed in this and you couldn't sleep, and then
I couldn't sleep. And it was like I have a Whoop. I'm not wearing it right now, but I have a Whoop. It's a fitness tracker. It tracks your sleep. And so it tracks your recovery. And I found that when I studied super intensely, like it was like 6 or 7 hours. And it wasn't just all football. Like, it wasn't all playbook. Some of it was tape. Some of it was YouTube. Some of it was just conceptualizing the game. But when I studied, I just studied like 6 to 7 hours. Like, it was like intense studying before my mind would be at peace for the work I did for the day. And it was like that all summer. It was like that all summer.
And then after you put in that time, then you'd be able to.
Then I'd be able to sleep. And the days I didn't put in that time, it'd be like, I might as well have just studied that long, because I'm in bed tossing and turning. It was
So you
it was
couldn't
crazy.
sleep until you reached that kind of that level of where you needed to be to satisfy that need to know that you have done the work for that day.
And it was a psychological thing, and it was something me and Ramos talked about, because it was like he had done his doctorate, and so he was like, bro, when I was doing my doctorate, it was the same way. Like, if I hadn't done enough work for the day, I couldn't sleep. And when I did the work, even if I was more tired and I slept less, for example, it was a more restful sleep.
Yeah.
And so I just found myself in this place where, like, my mind and body and soul, I felt like we're aligned to this goal of like, hey, we're gonna be as ready as we can be.
Right. So then you get there. So you do all this over the spring, and then does it start? Then the next part is everybody comes there, and
Everyone
like,
comes for fall camp. And
so is that like? Just want to make sure I see my battery, because let's see what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Wait, so I'm good. Okay. So then, so you do this. So now you're studied. You're feeling.
I've studied. I'm feeling prepared, and I go into camp and I just let it rip. And I think the beauty of you do that much preparation, and everything after that becomes second nature. And I'm such a cerebral player. My strength is my mind, and so if my mind is right, like, you can play the game.
Right.
You can play the game at a really good level when your mind is right.
Right. So you get there, and then when you're playing these games, was it your first game that was like phenomenal?
So, yeah, my first game was really good, and then kind of fell off. That was my fault. Let it get to me. But no. So what happens is the first. Is this the exit?
Yeah. Let's hang here for 2 seconds just
Let's do
before
it.
we meet
No.
up
So what
later.
happens is the first.
We can just walk here for 2 seconds. Yeah. Gotta go on this side again. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah,
No. So what happens is my first game is. Before the first game, we've done like 3 weeks of practice so far. And so by the time the first game comes around, for me, it's like in that's the thing I'm grateful for Ramos for mostly, amongst taking care of me and just being so good to me, is pushing my mind and helping me get my mind right. And so I call him like, Ramos, like, we got this first game coming in this and this. He's like, bro, they're not asking you to do anything different than what you've been asking you to do since you got there in April.
Yeah.
Asking you to show up, play football at a high level, do it consistently, do your job. Like, they're asking you for the same things. Don't make it bigger than it is. So I go into the first game, and I got the guys coming up to me now, like the other undrafted rookies, like, bro, this and that. I'm like, bro, look, it's just another day in the office. Right. Not to undermine the magnitude of the situation, but to just kind of highlight, like, don't make it more than what it is. And so I think I just went in a really calm and just really poised, and I think it showed.
Right.
So,
You do how many tackles that game?
like 11 or something. I was really ranked highly for PFF.
Yeah.
It was good.
Then you just did it, and then you just went through camp and you were consistent, and I think what we'll wrap with the part of like, so you get to we'll go back to the fumble. We'll finish with the fumble because we started with the fumble, right? So finish with that. Although there's many other highlights, but did you think that you were going to make the roster?
So, to highlight something you said early in the conversation, by the time it came down for roster cut week, I was kind of like, obviously I want this bad, I want it bad, but it was like, I had left no stone unturned.
Right.
Between the spring, between the summer, between my prep, between my execution, I was like, I'm really, if the NFL closes the door on me today, I would be super proud of myself.
Right.
Because I'd be obviously upset in the sense like what could have been, but I would have been really proud of the opportunity I had and how I handled it. I felt like not just the results, but the effort I put in.
Yeah.
I felt really proud of that, just in terms of what I had put in as a man, as a competitor. And so when it came time to make the roster, I was kind of like, I say but it's really more of the I was at peace with what I had done.
Right.
And so I was very happy when they gave me the official call. I was super happy.
Did you think you were? Did you think there was a good shot?
I had heard some rumblings. Guys had come up to me like, bro, you had an amazing this and this and this. But it was like a place to zen, really. And I'm not just saying this, like, I think sometimes you say things and people are like, but it was really a place of like, dude, like, whatever happens, happens. Either I'm going to make this team or they're going to cut me. Another team's going to pick me up or I'm done. But either way, like,
right.
If I gave my best. There was no 9. I gave 10.
Satisfaction. It's like a wholeness. It's like, I
was at peace.
It's like surrender to the universe, and whatever happens, just accept that that's what it is, knowing that you've done all you can.
Yeah.
The law of rejection says I'm not always going to get what I want, but I can do everything I possibly can to be there.
and doing everything you can is hard because
It's so hard.
it's like it's not everything you think you can. It's everything you actually can. And I mean, there's no stone left unturned in that place.
Yeah.
In camp and in the OTAs, and I couldn't have said the same when I left Wisconsin, which is what made leaving so hard the way I did. I felt like I left a lot of meat on the bone, especially my freshman year, partying and stuff like that. But it was all part of the journey,
Right.
you know?
That's how you got here. And now, I think you had a really, I know your season, you started off really trying to find your way, and then you found your way into special teams, right?
Oh, yeah, we talked about that a
Yeah.
little bit.
Do you mind if I
season.
share? And we can start walking
sure.
back, because we've taken, I think I said an hour. We're like,
No, we did, what, 2.5?
It's great, man. It's
Good.
great. It's like, but that's, I wouldn't take back a minute of it, and we'll go back there. I asked you some questions, and you sent me, an audio message, and I don't know if you're cool with me sharing any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the league is really fun. Right now, playing time for me has just been mostly special teams. And,
Yep.
that hasn't been bad. It's been really good, actually. I don't know if you know much about football, but I primarily played defense coming up in high school and in college, so it was an adjustment to learn how to play special teams.
Yeah.
And honestly, at first I wasn't really good at it.
Nope.
And so I hadn't bought much furniture because I was actually performing pretty poorly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to be around for long
not
enough
think I was gonna
to
make-
buy furniture, but my coach kept getting after me, kept getting on my ass, and I just kept working at it, and now I'm playing pretty well on special teams and feel very confident and feel like I belong here in this league. So that's a really good feeling. Now for me, the next thing is just like trying to observe team dynamics as a rookie. I don't really have a voice. You got to earn that voice by playing, and I haven't really played much, so I just want to keep earning.
I think that was.
Oh, I think they do a minute limit, and I think I kept talking for 30 more seconds, so that's unfortunate. But
Yeah, you know what?
yeah, I didn't have furniture for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couch and speakers.
It's wild. And now did you get any furniture yet?
Yeah, not only do I have furniture, but I'm starting to get art. So that's how you should know how I feel. I got blinds. Like, there's things in my apartment.
You have an apartment in Cincinnati?
I have a condo. My uncle, who's not my uncle, here's a trip. I want someone to figure this out. So he's my grandmother's youngest sister's stepson's brother-in-law. I call him my uncle because people start foaming at the mouth about.
We'll play this back. No one's gonna really know it.
Yeah.
Someone will figure that out. So you spend a lot of time there during the season, and then when off season, what are you doing?
I'm finishing my master's right now.
Your master's in
finance in Madison.
Oh, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
So you're finishing that, and then right now it's March 22nd. Is that what it is? 21st? 22nd, I think.
Second?
Something like that.
Oh yeah, March 22nd.
22nd, 2025. So, what's the plan for the future?
Oh no, I can't. I still.
What's your hope?
Maintain the dynamic quality as I enter year 2.
Yeah.
Expand on it
Yeah.
and continue to develop as a man, as a teammate, as a leader,
Yeah.
and help the Bengal win some games this year.
I think that's a great way. So here's what we're gonna do. We're right here. We're gonna stop it right here.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to go to the car. This is good. If we could pick it up here
We
someday.
can pick it up here next
We can pick it up
year.
here.
I love it.
We can make it an annual thing. And we
I
can
love
talk
that.
and do whatever. And we'll see where we are, and we'll leave it at that. 'Cause I don't think there's
love
any more
that.
to say. Thanks, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh, so grateful. This is
Thank you.
This is a gift. It's a gift, and it's a gift for everybody who gets the chance to hear this, to see this, to feel it, and just grateful that I could serve, and I'm grateful that our paths crossed.
I appreciate
All
that.
right, to be continued. All right.